We are live. Welcome back to another late night gig talk show. But we ain't going to be talking just gig work today. If you're new to this channel or these lives, I do them every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. My name is Pedro DoorDash Santiago with my sidekick, Hootie Hoo the Owl. All right, so got a lot to get into today. We'll start taking live calls at about 9:15, 9:20 this week. I got a few things I want to go over with you guys first. Talk about our week, talk about the 3 featured channels. We'll see who's in the live chat. And you guys got over 500 likes on a video I put out 4 or 5 days ago. And I said, just do something fun. If we got 500 likes, I will be shotgunning a beer live. Never done it before. I thought, hey, you know what? Let's have a little fun. We always talking gig work. We're always being so serious on this channel sometimes. And I thought, let's just do something fun, make a fool out of myself. I'm sure I got napkins and stuff. It's probably going to be a complete disaster, but you know what? It is what it is. Plus, my Chicago Bears won today. We upset, as some might think, the Raiders. Raiders are extremely overrated. If you're a Raiders fan, I'm sorry. They're overrated. So, big W for the Bears today. They held them to 9 points. All right. So, if you guys can hear me, can I get a thumbs up, a customary thumbs up? And then let me know if the audio is too much, if it's too loud or not loud enough. If you guys can give me a thumbs up that it sounds good, that would be fantastic. And I'll get to my week once I know you guys can hear me well. So let's see. It looks like you guys probably can. John, what up? Brandon, what up? Marvin, John, Poetic Keith, Show Me Dasher, what up? What up? What up? Tehran, Matthew, sounds good. Thank you very much. Show Me Dasher, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so first let's get the boring stuff out of the way. My week was pretty good this week. I hit my goal. Last 2 weeks, I've had to work 6 days to do it, but I don't like to work Saturday and Sunday if I can avoid it, but I'll do it in order to meet my goal. So Saturday, I worked about 2.5 hours yesterday, and last Saturday, I had to do the same thing because I'm falling just short because I got other things going on in the week that kind of stops me from hitting my goal for $1,000, but it is what it is. I like to do that in 5 days, but it's been taking me about 5.25 days, so it is what it is. But my week overall was pretty solid. The giveaway winners from last week, I have given 4 out of the 5 their money. I tried to pay one of them, and it was through Amazon, and they blocked it because 2 people wanted Amazon, and some fraudulent thing popped up. So I've pretty much got in contact with everybody. Just have to finish doing that last winner, and you know who you are. We've been in communication. So everybody that participated in the giveaway, appreciate it. We're pretty much done with that. 3 featured channels. So I like to feature 3 channels every week. I do 2 gig style channels that I feature and talk about. You guys can check them out. I'll have the links in the description box. I'll have the links to the channels. Right now I have the names, but I haven't put the links in yet. A little behind today. So we do 2 gig kind of channels, and then I do 1 kind of channel that I like, and maybe you can check it out and you'd like it as well. So the first channel we're shouting out this week is Ride Along 980. Ride Along 980. He does DoorDash and other apps. He's had a channel for a little while. Go check him out. And we're also shouting out Lando Success, Lando, the word success, 2 separate words. He has a channel about finance, gig stuff, really interesting stuff. Check it out if you're into the financial part, trying to elevate your game with businesses and things like that. Check his channel out. It's not just gig related. Pretty good stuff. And then the last one is a funny one that I enjoy because I don't just watch the gig stuff, the gig tubers on YouTube. I also watch sports stuff, comedy, history, various other things as I recommend you should, right? It's a big world out there on YouTube. So it's a comedian named Nikki Howard, Nikki, last name Howard, Howard. Hold on, my dog is, hold on 1 second. Did you get stuck? You did, didn't you? Come on. You locked him out. Get in there. My dog was stuck between portals. Okay, so Nikki Howard, she's a comedian. She does skits. They're really funny. They're relatable. I think they're kind of funny. She does current topics, but then also is very she makes fun of certain groups of people in a really funny comedic way. So those are the 3 channels. Ride Along 980, Lando Success, Nikki Howard. Check them out. Descriptions and or links of those channels will be in the description box. after this video. If you want to put links, mods, if you want to put links in of those channels in the actual chat, please feel free. If you have a channel and you're a moderator, you can put the links in the chat. Also, if you want a wrench, for those of you that are new here, if you're in the chat, you're a sub. Is that James? Shotgun already cool. James, that's my boy James. We used to work together. What up, James? How are you doing, man? I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Anyways, if you want a wrench, I'll give you a wrench. It's all good. All right, so talked about my week, talked about the channels, talked about the giveaway. Topics of the week. I put them in the top of the chat. I'll go over those with you guys real quick. So I did a video the other day. My mother is a breast cancer and ovarian cancer survivor. Big shout out to my mom's home skillet. I love you. She came by to see the baby today, so it was great to see her. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I did a video. Check it out. A couple of days ago. Today, when we do call-ins, I'd like to hear some people share their survivor stories, whether it's a personal story from yourself, a loved one, a family, a friend, a coworker. Share a story of inspiration if you like. That's one topic. It could also be, it doesn't have to just be, it could be a story of inspiration. Okay. Second topic. Should the gig apps, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, any of them, okay, those are the big three, Uber, Lyft, whatever, should they pay us what some would say a fair wage and pay us a monetary amount, whether it's hourly or per trip, and we don't even see or hear or talk about tips? So I'll give you an example. Should they pay all drivers $20 an hour? Based on your market, maybe it'd be 25, some markets is 15, and that's what you get paid to drive around. No tips are ever talked about. It tells you where to go. You can still accept or deny based on mileage, but like it's basically you got to do 3 trips in an hour or so, and then boom, you get $20. Is that something you'd be interested in? You don't ever have to worry about if the customer tipped you. I want to talk about that. That's the second topic. Third topic, holiday season's approaching us. What are your plans for the holidays? And then will you be working? Do you plan on working some of these holidays? In your market, historically, have those been big money days for you? Call in, you can talk about that as well. Me, I will not be working the major holidays. But maybe I'll work the day before or day after, but I won't be working the major ones. That's me. That's why I'm deciding to do this year. So I didn't do it last year either. All right, so let's get into the chat. We got a little bit of time before we're going to take calls. I did some shout outs already. Some people that were here. Always good to see these faces. Kelly, Donna, how are you? Gig Cleveland, I think it's going to be a wash. Inflation hitting up and less jobs flatten out to normal, back to what it was in 2019. Okay. All Crow Water, Eric, what up? What up? James, what up, my friend? I ran into you the other day, man. I hope you're doing well. Tell Amy I said hello. Wish, Hannibal is hungry. What up, my friend? How are you, brother? Kevin Galloway, giveaway winner. What's up, man? How are you? Bud Soda, always a pleasure. Show me Dasher. Brandon, what up? What up? What up? I'm gonna get to the shotgun. Bill, what up? What up? Kristen, Rich, shotgun to be okay. I see. All right. Delivering with Ellen. I know you have a channel as well. Somebody told me that. I need to check it out. Checked it out, but I haven't recently. Gig Lebowski, what up, brother? Scorpion, what up? What up? Joe Gig, always a pleasure, my friend. Joe, I need to say something real quick because this is live. Okay. So I just got on Instagram. My girlfriend has my account. Like she runs it, man. She does it. I don't, she does. She posts things up. So even if she replies to you and it's me, it's actually her most of the time, just to be transparent. But I saw Crazy Rodzilla. He showed up in my feed as like a suggested friend or however it works. And I looked at it because I check it at the end of the day, see what's going on. And he did a post of me, and I don't know if you saw it. He said like we're brothers or whatever, and he did like a screenshot of each of us stacked on top of each other. I thought it was really funny, so it was cool. Martin, what up? Kim Side, Money Plans, what up? JR, what up? What up? What up? Michigu, what up? What up? We got Kyle in the house. What up, brother? Peter, always good to see you. Matthew. We got Cup of Laughter. Kevin, what up? What up? Jeremy, the Mo Dasher. I still got the Chiefs winning tonight. Don't worry, Jeremy. Sue, Holly Camp, always nice to see you. All right, I think we're caught up. Yes, we are. We got 74 people in here. All right, so should I shotgun it now? Should I wait a little bit? Because I know we'll get more than 76 people in here. I think I'll probably I'll just do it now before I take the calls. It's going to be a disaster. I already know. I'm going to have to clear some space here. Never done this before. So I think I'm an old man, and I like to drink beer, but I've never when I was growing up, I didn't go to college for real. I went to community college for like a semester and a half, I think. And I was never in that party scene, shotgun beers. I'm like, oh yeah, like Frank the Tank from old school. Like it just wasn't my vibes, I was drinking, but like I wasn't doing it for like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink for fun. I drink for flavor and to, like socially and stuff. Like I don't drink to get like wasted. Let's say move Move the aisle. Yeah, I'm going to have to move the aisle to do this. Hold up. Let me move. I'll bring him back. He'll come back. Don't worry. And then we'll take our calls and we'll get into all the good stuff. And I got a few surprises for you guys in this live, I think, as well, besides this one. All right. So I got mine. All right. Let me show y'all my setup here. So you can put in the comments a thumbs up or a wave of hands if you've ever shotgunned a beer or if you haven't. I'm going to do this with y'all. It's probably going to end up everywhere. I'm probably going to ruin my laptop, but I'm a man of my word. So, and you guys got me 500. So, girl dad, hey, yeah. It should be the main event of the show. Move the aisle. Yeah. Hey, Pedro, really enjoy it. Cool. Thanks, man. All right. So, all right. I've got the game on the radio. It's halftime. It is halftime. So this is a halftime show for Jeremy Mo Dasher and anybody else watching Sunday Night Football with Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. I'm going to be your halftime entertainment. You can tell them I'll be at the Super Bowl as well. Plug it. All right. So let me move. Okay. I think I'm good. So from what I understand, you need like a knife. I know they even I looked this up like online. They even make little things now. Like you need to puncture this side, right? Like puncture here. But I got to have my hand on this guy, right? And as I got to puncture, I got to pull and then suck it. Is that accurate? Am I missing something? Let me know. I mean, I'm going to make a fool of myself, but I don't want to be absolutely drenched in beer. But it is what it is. So let me see what y'all saying. What I'm missing? You ain't missing nothing, bro. I'm shotgunning the beer, bro. I got 500 likes on the thing, so that's what I'm going to do. Pedro's about to shotgun for the first time. Beer bong for the lady. All right. I guess you know what? I need to just do it because you missed the free booze, Roy. All right. I think it's time. All right. So is that accurate though? I need somebody to tell me and be honest with me here. I'm shotgunning cookie dough ice cream. Joe, I got some ice cream. That's for later tonight when I'm at the end, when I'm sitting in bed watching a movie, maybe a little ice cream. Have your mouth close to the hole, bro. Okay. Yeah. So I got to do this and then that and then open it. Or do I puncture? I feel like I got to have it close, right? Yeah, just bite in the can. I'm not biting the can. I'm not doing that. Nope. I'm trying to keep this. I'm trying to make y'all laugh, if you can't tell. This is going to be humor at my expense. All right, let me just get into it. Stop being a little baby about it. All right. You guys ready? All right. Shit, I'm a little nervous. Hold up. Let me make sure I got these devices over here. Nobody call in yet because we're already at 9:15. Usually we do calls at 9. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to put it on pause. We'll take the calls. Let me get loose. I didn't warm up today. I didn't stretch. I didn't plan on doing activities today. All right. Let me stretch it out. Oh, get this old man bones moving. All right. Okay. Get a sip of water just to get the South is going. You guys can't tell I'm long halftime show. Then pop towel. Okay, hold up. I got towels. I got some napkins. I ain't worried about getting wet for real. All right, hold up. Got the beer with the air bubble in the corner. Pop it. We should chant. You got this, bro. Towel. Then pop top. Okay. Just in time. Maybe a plastic bag over the laptop first. Ooh. How wet is? You know what? I can probably do it this way. So if anything, I'm gonna get more stuff that way. I'm gonna do it this way. Right? Yeah. I was thinking, I hope he's at least got a bunch of napkins. I got 2 napkins. I'm going to get a whole paper towel roll. Hold up. I'm not going to lie. This is kind of fun. When you get old like me, I'll be 40 this year. You don't get to do fun things like this enough. And, I'm ridiculous. This is like those silly one chip challenge. People eat the spicy chips. But I'm doing beer because I like beer. Golden Road. It's a brown from Cali. Oh, Lord. All right. Hole first, then pop the top. Yes, hope you are not old. Okay. Remember Murphy's Law. You will shoot towards the laptop or phone. Oh, don't tell me that. Sorry. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this down here. Let's get the laptop covered. Let's at least get the key. Yeah, because if it gets on the screen a little bit, but you don't want it to get down there. All right. We're good. Okay. Oh, shit. Watch me. I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to puncture it enough or something. All right. So hold up. Should I open it a little first, or should I not? Should I? I have no idea. Should I half pop it? Hold up. Oh, man, shotgun and a brown. Yeah, it's a brown. I got tall boys, but I can't shotgun a tall boy, man. I can't do that. No, bro, I'm not listening to you, bro. You're lying. No. Okay, cool. All right. Let's just do this. What? It's already 9:16. All right, we got over 100 people. All right, that's the sign. And I expect hella thumbs up. If I do this good or bad, I expect some love. All right? I expect some love. Okay. I got to really give it a, don't I? Don't shake it. No. Why y'all telling me to shake it? Yeah. I got to punch it. Okay. So this way and then whoop and then pop. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Should I get a hold of it? Can I get a countdown? All right, let's go. Woo! Oh, that got everywhere. That was fun. All right, you know what? Definitely got here. Didn't get it on the computer, so that's good. I'm going to say this. I'm going to give myself a 3 out of 10. I definitely feel like I failed on the mouth action to can speed. But 3 out of 10 could have been way worse. Could have been way worse. Yeah, it's not too bad. I got a little bit of spillage there. A little bit right here. 3 out of 10. I give myself a 3 out of 10. What do y'all give me? I'll say 3 out of 10. I didn't get that much on my actual hoodie. A little bit in the beard. Just a little bit there. And for the underage drinkers at home, or underage people at home, don't do that at home. You got to be 21 to do that. There's no way this video is getting monetized, but I don't care. All right. Wow. That was fun. Laptop secure. All right. Let's put that away. I gave myself a 3 out of 10. I got beer on my forehead. What do you think? All right. 10. You did it. Solid 8. Oh, okay. So I guess maybe 5 out of 10. All right. So maybe I'm delivering to dorms. It's like father, like son. I did it once. Got it all. Is my father? Is my old man in here? Listen, you want to talk about a man? You want to talk about the GOAT? That's my man. That's my pops right there. Shout out to my pops. Shout out to my pops, man. That just made my whole night. The fact that my pops is in here, it made my whole night. You have no idea. All right. So that was fun. Thanks for the 500. Thanks for the comments on the breast cancer awareness video. Thanks for the few people that donated. That was fun. I like to do something different. So I had never done that before. All right. We will start taking calls. We're already 4 minutes past due. So if you call and I'm on the phone with somebody, be patient. Try to call when the phone call's about to end if you can. That would be fantastic. We'll take our first call right now. You are live with Pedro Dora Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight? Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. What topic would you like to talk about tonight?
Okay, so 2 days ago, our governor signed a bill
Okay.
saying that DoorDash and all those other companies could not hide tips anymore.
Could not hide tips.
Right.
You said this is in California?
Yeah, California.
Okay. Interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
I worked yesterday, and they were still hiding tips.
Well, I think sometimes when I haven't heard about this yet, and I don't have a lot of information, so bear with me. But I think that when some laws like this get passed, it might not happen immediately. It might take a little while. Maybe the lawyers got to do this, and maybe there's an appeal, or there's this, or there's that. So it might take a little bit of time before we actually see it come to fruition. I don't know. I'm only guessing. But in the chat, has anybody else heard of this? What do you guys know about it? I think obviously it'd be a positive, right? If it winds up coming all the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we know DoorDash likes to hide tips, and it's silly, but they definitely do
Uber Eats, but Grubhub Grubhub is really good. You get what you get.
Yeah. No,
a lot of people don't tip on Grubhub.
I've heard that, and I know Grubhub for a while their minimum pay was like $7, right?
Yeah, it's a living wage. It really is.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
So that doesn't bother me whatsoever because the payouts are usually $12 for 5 miles or this and that.
Yeah.
And they don't tip, but that doesn't bother me. But
yeah.
But yeah.
How long have you been doing? How long have you been doing gig work out there?
Just March.
Okay.
In March I started.
Do you do part-time or full-time?
I'm doing full-time. My boyfriend does part-time. He has a full-time job, and but he's out right now, so he does part-time. I do full-time. Yeah. I am a landscaper.
Okay.
And I recently quit my job during the pandemic. I had enough. I'm a personal assistant / landscaper and stuff, and it was just too much. So I quit my job, and I've been doing that. So I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. It's been getting really slow here.
Yeah.
There's so many dashers.
Yeah, there's some markets that are definitely oversaturated. I haven't felt that yet in my St. Louis market, but I definitely hear that from other people. What are your plans for the holidays? You're going to work the gig apps during the holidays? What are you planning for that?
I don't know yet. I have no idea yet.
Got it.
Because I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't go out tonight. I thought I would just take the night off. Usually I go out with my boyfriend and we, do it together. And I told him I didn't feel like it because I've already worked 6 days this week and I'm tired.
Well, I think, I think I missed your name at the beginning. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name's April.
April, okay.
Last name is Bean.
Oh, April. April. Okay, yeah. I see you in here all the time.
Yeah. I'm on there all the time. But that's not my real last name.
Got it. No,
that's my dog's last
totally
name.
Totally understand. You know what? I think you made a good decision on not working today. I think working 7 days a week is tough. I think sometimes we may have to because of our bills. But I think you got to have a day for yourself every once in a while. I think that's very important. So I'm glad you're able to do that today.
Oh, me too. And I'm hoping that this law passes through. He signed the bill, so we'll see.
Yeah. And I'll definitely be looking out for that. And as more comes of that, I'll definitely be talking about it. And we'll see how that goes. And I appreciate you bringing that topic up. Thanks very much, April.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a great night.
Nice talking to you, Pedro.
You as well. Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
April Bean, I know the name from the chat and comments. She's definitely been a longtime supporter of the channel. Appreciate it. I missed all the chat. I missed the chat right after doing my shotgun. I gave myself a 3 out of 10. Then my pops was in here. I'm like, whoa, my old man. That's my guy right there, man. My pops is a fantastic man. I could do a whole channel about him and my family. It's hard. I don't want to cry right now. That's all I'll say. But my pops is a great man. So, all right. So, let's see what we got. Let's see, 10. So you guys are giving me some love on the shotgun and the beer. All right, we got another call. I'll take this real quick. See what we got. You are live with Pedro Dordes Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight? All right, that was a prank caller, but they actually didn't call spam. What's wrong with people nowadays? It's been a while. All right, so hold up. We got, I'm going to have to do that. Let me block this number real quick, y'all. Hold up. Block this caller. At some point, I guess I'm going to have, because listen, we got some haters on this channel, y'all. I'm telling you all that right now. But I got to get Google Voice or something like that. I don't know. I know UDM uses something like that, but we'll see. Let's see. Pop said, do another one. I'm not going to do another one, Gig Lebowski. I want to make sure this live lasts more than 5 minutes. Good, sir. Every 100 likes. Ooh. So you're telling me we're only at 49 likes. We're not going to get to 200 likes, guys. So if I get to, I'll get to 100. If I get to 150 likes, I'll do another one. How about that? 150 likes, then I will shotgun another beer. I think that's fair. I can't go past 2 shots. I can't do more than 2 shotguns. That would be ridiculous. King language, bro. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Topics of the night. Run them down so we can get the next caller going here. Topics. Survivor story. Cancer survivor story, personal or from your family. Inspiration. We're doing, should the gig apps pay us a fair wage? No tips ever. We don't know about it. They just pay us the hourly wage. And are you going to work this holidays? What are your holiday plans? Let's take this call right here. You are live with Pedro Dora Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hi, Pedro. It's Bud Soda. Don't mind my voice. I shot it during Super Dirt Week.
What's up, man? How are you, bud?
Here I am sitting at everyone's unfavorite restaurant.
Hold on.
Guess.
You're at, let me get one guess, Wendy's.
Yes.
That I would say if we took a poll, that would probably be, if we're talking just restaurants and we exclude Walmart, that'd be number one. Yeah.
I like this Wendy's. They were very friendly, fully staffed during the day. Like I said in the chat, I think the franchise owner cheaps out at night and those people will wait after work. During lunch, he's got to get those people out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, some places
the franchise owner is very cheap.
Some places
they go by a labor system.
Yeah. Some places are definitely better than others, you know, with the chains, whether they're franchise or whatnot. You got a good franchise ownership group and they really care. They could run it operationally good, but I'm not going to Wendy's, bro. It's 30 minutes, man. In my market, I'm gonna sit there for 30 minutes, and you know,
I'm on a stack right now, Pedro.
Yeah.
Anyways, can we talk? Oh my God, your subjects. Oh my God, why did it just slip my tongue?
I'll give you topics. So first one was survivor story with cancer and or inspirational story. Second one was should the apps just pay us an hourly wage? We don't ever have to worry about tips or know what the customer tipped us. They just pay us an hourly wage. And then the third one was, what are your holiday plans? And are you going to work any of the apps on the upcoming holidays?
Yes, if they're busy and earning money.
Okay. What about family? What about family or friends? Do you take that into consideration or not?
Yeah, that's the thing about the gig apps. You can just do whatever you want. You can take the time.
Yeah, good point.
You go out and work before and after.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, if you think there's money to be made, you'll be working.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
Everyone will be wanting last minute Christmas crap from freaking Price Chopper and in the grocery store. So
yeah.
Instacart I heard really picks up around Thanksgiving, Christmas. I just missed Easter, so I've yet to experience a major holiday besides Memorial Day. And Memorial Day, I did get quite a few people ordering like hamburger and stuff, and those are percentage tips. The weights are never exact. And I try to get at least over what the customer asked, not under. People get very upset if you get less than what they wanted. Yeah. So it ups your tips automatically. Yeah. Because it's a percentage. Yeah. It's not much, but it all adds up. You got to stack those pennies somehow. Yeah. You know, like Corey LaJoy, you know?
Yeah, and I think the holiday season, you're going to have people that will take care of you and not, but like, generally, you're going to get some probably good unicorns here and there because people are more giving and they're in that spirit. At least in the restaurants I've worked, that was the case. You get those customers coming in and give you a nice $20 tip or $50 tip, or sometimes if they're a regular $100 tip for Christmas if they really liked you, and that can really make your week, you know. So.
Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Pedro. I've been cash flowing my vacation down here. I'm in Oswego. Right here, Lisa can attest to the area I'm in. Okay. And I've been busting my butt, working very hard. In between, unfortunately, my hustle bug got the better of me. It took me to Fulton, which is on the other side of the DoorDash zone, but Instacart took me there to the other break, to do a delivery, and I was closer to that Price Chopper then. And then I did a delivery there, and I to Aldi's, and it took me a long time to do it because it's a big order, but it took me back to Oswego and it paid for my way back plus a lot more. It was like they used to do Instacart. Actually, they were Instacart former shoppers. They have the app, but they don't do it much.
Interesting. Now, how much Instacart do you do in a week?
Hang on. Hey, I got an order for Niveria and Serena.
That was we got. No, I love it. It's live. You're in the streets, man. I love it. You can't get content like this anywhere else. I love
UDM. It. Someone called in UDM the other night. I know that.
Oh, did they? Oh, I must have missed that one.
Well, I'm just gonna pull around because answering me.
You're good, man. So let me ask you one more question before I let you go. I know you're busy. How many Instacart batches you do in a week? How much money you getting off Instacart right now?
Now I can talk because I'm free. I'm not at the drive-through speaker. I do average. It's been pretty slow the last 2 weeks in my market because we're oversaturated. But I think, and just the orders in general slow down because I didn't see any.
Mm-hmm.
They opened the floodgates. I can tell you that because they upped my reference amount. It used to be $25 lousy, which is the low amount. Now it's up to $75. Last I knew.
Well, I think they also know that some people are upset with Instacart. They're not doing it as much, so they need to protect the brand and hire more people. And it's unfortunate, but I think that's part of it too. Like they don't care.
And
they don't care what you make.
Some upset people rated me 4 and 3-star today. That's great.
That sucks
because I had outs. Super Dirt Week and. The big show was today, so they came over and completely rated the Price Chopper here. This Price Chopper is probably the best stock grocery store I've been in a long time. Mine are always empty. I have 4 colleges, the 2 SUNY schools, SLU and Clarkson. If you follow college hockey, like they're a big deal. Clarkson University in Clarkson, and this one was just like, oh my God, I don't have to do substitutes. I get exactly what the customer wants. Everyone's happy. And today they started having outs and, they take it out on me. And I had a conversation with one of my customers today. She's like, it's really unfortunate that people do that because you're doing them a giant service. It's a premium service. You are trying to take care of them. I had 2 customers who would not respond to my messages. I imagine it's them. It's usually them that are bitter about it. Oh, they didn't get what I wanted. Yeah,
and that I think the rating system is a big issue within that app, from what I hear from people that do it, and I don't know how to fix. I don't know what the fix is for that. So I think it's important for a customer to be able to rate a shopper, but there has to be some things like if you notice that let's say the algorithm or the app knows that they were out of items and you mark that in the app, you shouldn't be rated faulty for that. Like if they shouldn't be able to rate you below or whatever because that's out of your control.
I am very fortunate because I'm still at that 4.9, which you need to have better batches. Get the batches in a couple seconds earlier, especially if you're rated at that store, at that merchant. So I'm very, very fortunate. I was down to a 4.31 for a while, but Instacart clears the cache instead of being cumulative like DoorDash. I had someone on DoorDash rate me 3 stars down here. I have no idea who it was, but because I waited in the drive-thru for a long time and they didn't answer their text messages, DNF message, the phone call. Like, I know some dashers don't like doing that, but I do because of that crap. Because if you don't communicate with your customers, they get angry. Well, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I'm in the dark. And it gets very aggravating. But even some are like, oh, are you kidding me? It's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? I can't magically make it happen.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Hey, brother, I appreciate the call. I appreciate the support. I'll take the next call. Go get your money tonight. Be safe. And I hope I talk to you soon. All right, brother?
Hey, $8 for 8 orders is my promotion for DoorDash.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to quickly say that.
That's hilarious.
Hey, it's like an extra order, so I'll take it.
Take it. I mean, if you're gonna be out there anyway, why not? But that wouldn't get me out of bed. Like if I was gonna be off for the day, that extra $8 wouldn't do it for me. But if I'm out there anyway, why not? So
I figured the listeners will get amused over that because Uber Eats has been doing crazy stuff like that lately.
Yeah, you're right. All right, brother. So have a good night, man. All right, you too, brother. Bye. All right, we will take the next call. Topics of the evening: survivor story, cancer survivor story. If you would like to share that with us, doesn't have to be you. Maybe somebody that you know. It's an inspirational story you want to share. And then we're talking about: are you going to work the holidays at gig apps, or what are you doing the holiday season? And do you think they should just pay us a fair wage, no tips ever, pay us an hourly wage based on market? You are live with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight? Oh, they hung up. Call back. I don't know who that was, but Olympia, you can call back. So those are the topics of the night. We just shotgunned a beer. I gave myself a 3 out of 10 because I got a little bit messy, but some of y'all thought I did okay. So I'll take it. Maybe I'll have to. It's not going to be a normal thing we do here, but it was fun. I'm not going to lie. I experienced that with y'all, so that was kind of dope. All right, we got another caller here. You are live with Pedro Dordes Santiago. Who do we have on the line this evening?
I can't believe we got through again. It's the Tinas.
Tinas, how are you tonight?
Good. So I was listening to your topics. Mm-hmm. I was surprised to hear that, you had one that veered away from driving or delivering, so it was interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm actually a cancer survivor of non-Hodgkin's stage 2.
I am. Thanks for sharing that with us. First off, and I share with some of the viewers. I did a video of my mother as a 2-time survivor, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. And I'm glad you're strong and with us. So thank you.
Well, I went through chemo and radiation to be here, so it was worth it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to send out some prayers for my mother, which is going through treatment as well. Actually, now as we speak.
Well, I think this is a good. You got multiple people now that will do that, and I hope she's well. And I appreciate you sharing that with us. I know that's probably not easy, but Tina, I really appreciate that.
Well, I made it through, and right now with her, so good so far. That's where we stand.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if I'm going to dash during the holidays. The ones coming up, like Halloween, that's my all-time favorite holiday.
Yeah. Okay.
This year. Thanksgiving, probably not. But I will definitely go out for Christmas because last year I wasn't the lucky one, but my roommate got $100 tip.
Ooh, so do you mean Christmas? You mean Christmas Day, right?
Right, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Hell, the week of Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
You never know what mood people are in, but I actually got a tip. I think it was in February. Wasn't for a holiday. The biggest tip I ever got was from a lady that had just got home from surgery and was starving, and said she had ordered from Uber and waited 2 hours and nobody ever picked up her order. I'm guessing it's when Uber wasn't very big in our area.
2 hours? That's crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
So she canceled it and sent it through DoorDash. Well, I try to be really quick, so I had it there, and the restaurant was quick, thank God. I can't remember what restaurant it was, but I had it there within 20 minutes. And she was so gracious that she was like, I want to, DoorDash won't let me up the tip. And that's where it proves your statement that, they don't up the tip. What you get is what they offered.
Yeah. And they'll hide the tips. We know they hide them. But they're not, it's you have to call them and this and that. I did read somewhere that DoorDash is implementing in select markets where customers can add tip afterwards, but I haven't looked into it all the way, and I know it's not nationwide, so I don't want to speak too much about it. But I think it's something that would make sense because some people feel like, well, why do I need to tip? I don't know what kind of service I'm going to get. I haven't gotten my food. I don't know. And I think there's some legitimacy to that, but I think some customers just don't understand how the apps work, and they don't know what the apps really actually pay us. So that's why there's some reluctancy as far as the tipping and things like that.
Right. Well, the lady ended up asking me, and I was uneasy at first. Do you have Cash App like you got from your customer?
Yeah.
But I got a giggle because you said you just got $5.
I did. I was doing I think I've done it. I didn't think I've done it twice, but the one I remember was I was doing Uber rideshare, and a lady had her son with her, and I took her somewhere. She wanted to go to the store and then right back home. So it was like a 15 minutes combined trip, very short trip. And she hadn't used the service before, and she asked if I had Cash App. I was like, yeah, and I told her, and she gave me $5. So I was fine with that because for the amount of distance it was a really good tip, I felt like. But
right. Well, I cried because my tip didn't come through until the next day because I'm kind of a negative Nancy, if you want to call it.
Okay.
So when I had went to bed and I was like, oh, I actually gave, and my screen name wouldn't show up. So I actually had to give her my email, which was a little weird. And I was like, I don't know if I want to give this out. Well, I was like, yeah, of course, somebody said they tipped through that, and it didn't happen. It's just, my luck. Well, I woke up the next morning and there was $150 sent to me.
Wow.
Oh, I cried.
Yeah, I think I might have to shed a little tear too for $150. That's a very generous tip. I mean, that is.
Well, she was, extremely appreciative when I dropped it off in person because, like she said, she had surgery and you weren't allowed to eat and all kinds of stuff. And they'll give you liquids in the hospital before they send you home.
Yeah. And
the hospital has crappy food. Yeah. So I wish I could remember what restaurant I brought her so I could throw a plug, but I can't.
Yeah.
And she was, I am starving. I'm so glad you showed up. You were so quick. She was the first person ever to actually give me 5 stars. Everybody's like, oh, she was great, 4 stars. Nobody really thinks, she got it here fast. She was friendly. She used a hot bag. She's wearing her mask.
Yeah.
I'm going to give her 5 stars. She checked the boxes.
Yeah. Wow.
So she was actually the first person to give me 5 stars. I cried for a while.
What an awesome tip! $150. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, here recently, I delivered to a young man in Danville, and he asked me, Cash App, PayPal, and I was like, well, I have PayPal, and he didn't. He specifically downloaded it and tipped me $40 extra. He had already tipped me on the app. I was like, sometimes so when they asked me for my PayPal, I'm like, sure.
I mean, why not? I will say this before I let you go and take the next call. I wonder why people, I guess they're tipping on the app already, but why not just tip initially that big amount? I guess maybe they see that you gave them good service and they're appreciative, so they want to give you more and they can't do it on the app. So they feel like, all right, I'll get Cash App, PayPal, whatever. So I wonder how, I think it doesn't happen often, but I guess when it does, it's obviously very, very welcoming because that's like extra. It's a bonus money, right? Don't you consider it just kind of like a bonus money?
I wish you still claim it because you have to claim it on your taxes. But yeah, it's money you didn't plan for. It's money you weren't, that you didn't see firsthand. So you didn't. Yeah, it's a surprise. It's a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Tina, thanks for calling in.
Your last topic.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No pay per hour.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
If I got pay per hour, I couldn't have got those tips they offered that we just talked about. I don't want to pay per hour.
This is true. I don't want it either. I think it's I wouldn't be surprised if it happened with some of the apps, but we'll see. I don't think it's in the near future, but I think at some point, if certain things happen, I could see some of the apps going to that just so they can make sure most customers are serviced. Because right now, I think there are some customers that don't get serviced. And at the end of the day, I'm fine with that because I'm a no tip, no trip kind of guy. We can just,
I'm a no tip, no trip.
Yeah, and a lot of people get offended by that. A lot of people are like, how dare you say that?
No, I go into something else and I type it out. No tip, 3 periods, no trip.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
That's just me. It's a personal choice. You run your car how you want to run your car. It's your office. But at the end of the day, I need to make money. And I'm not taking the $3 order. It is what it is, right? I'm just not going to do it. But I think at some point the gig apps are going to have to. They're losing out on some of the revenue and the customer base and customer satisfaction because of that. And they don't care if a customer tips or not. They just want the revenue from the restaurant and the customer with the fees.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in some markets if it's like New York and like, all right, we're paying everybody $25 an hour. St. Louis, you're getting $20 an hour. Maybe a smaller market, a small city in Alabama, $18 an hour. Like,
yeah,
I could see that happening.
With that because there's some days you make $32, $35 an hour.
Yeah, I wouldn't only because I think that also what would come with that is you have to go this area, you got to do this, maybe you got to be scheduled, and I don't want that. I want the flexibility, and I don't plan on doing this for a long time anyway. So I just don't want to play that W-2 role employee in this particular gig space. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the apps went to it at some point, several years from now. because I think that's where they're going to go. But yeah. Well, Tina, I appreciate your insight and your opinion and sharing your story with us. You guys have a great night, okay?
You too. If you see the phone number again, it's not me, it's the other Tina.
Got it. I'll make note of that. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Good call. So let's get into the chat for a minute. Let's see what we got going on here. Roy's body's going through soda withdrawals. Hey man, drink that water. I saw I was in there last night. I got a recommendation for you. I'm sure many other people have said it. You said you don't like the taste of water, it tastes like piss or whatever you said. Get some little packets. I use Crystal Light. I try to drink water too, but get some Crystal Light, sugar-free, plenty of flavors. They make the Mio little squeeze bottles that flavors your water up. No calories, no sugar. Try it out. I'm sure you know that already, but good luck on your health journey. I won't call it a weight loss journey. You're trying to get healthy, and I understand why. I got type 1 diabetes, so I get where you're coming from. You don't want to get that. You don't want to get diabetes, bro. Trust me, it's bad. You don't want it. So do what you got to do. Hit my email if you want any way I could help with your journey with that, because you don't want the diabetes, my friend. All right, but so does that. Let me read some of this chat. I'm gonna get these calls in 1 second, guys. I just want to look at the chat here. Prayers for your mom. Yeah, that was Tina. The Tinas. They have a podcast. Zach's up in here. If they didn't allow you to deny orders, they would lose 90% of drivers quick. DoorDash Uber Eats is a luxury service, says Shannon. If you can't afford the tip, you can't afford the service. I'm kind of on that, and I think most people, this is a business. We got to make business decisions. That's how I look at it. So, and if I'm wasting time delivering a $2 or $3 or $4 order, I'm not making as much money. And I got goals. We should all have goals. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this next call here. You are live with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
It's that Shags cat again. It's that cat. I called you a little while ago.
What's up, man? How you doing? What's your name again?
I'm that Shags cat.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Got it. I remember. How are you doing? How you doing tonight, man?
I'll tell you what, right? Well, first of all, talking about cancer awareness.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people in my family that survived it. My grandmother didn't. It's horrible. You know what I mean? But you know what really sucks? It's all horrible. And I think you know how everybody breaks everything down? I think any disease that is, fatal. I think somehow somebody should get everybody together and go, listen, we got to figure something. I mean, come on, look at how smart people are. We got satellites in space. We got, you know what I mean? We got people taking trips into space. We have all, but you know what? It's all for the rich. Just real quick on the cancer part of things. I think if it wasn't so profitable, I think we'd have a lot of cures for a lot of shit.
Oh, I agree with you. I am not somebody that's very well-versed or educated in the sciences or the medicines, but I'll say this. I have type 1 diabetes. My daughter, Gabriella, which is 20, she has type 1. She got it when she was 8, a week before her 8th birthday, or no, a week after. Anyways, and that's $1 billion industry. Diabetes is one of the things that is every year. Yeah. Okay. So, every year, more and more people are getting diabetes. It's an issue. Okay. It's an issue. Okay. And like with cancer or other things, if I'll just use diabetes because I know enough about this. If they made a cure for diabetes, a pill, let's say, or something, they would lose. There'd be a lot of companies, hundreds of companies that would stand to lose billions of dollars because of the test strips, the needles, the flex pens, the alcohol swabs.
It goes everywhere. You could go into big oil, right?
Yep.
You can go into big oil. You can go, okay, you know what? Look at how many, things that could actually really help our world have been stomped on because people with way more money want to keep on getting way more money. And that's the way it goes. Here's the way it is with me, right? Here's how it is with me. I swear, this is my hand to God. I want everybody to be okay. I mean, listen, if you're hungry, I'm giving you food. If you're cold, I'm giving you a jacket. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't nobody special. I don't got a lot of loot like that. But if I have something and I can share it, I'm sharing it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But real quick, on a later note, trying to bring something down to something funny that keeps happening to me.
Okay.
Is these clown-ass customers that keep on saying, hand it to me, leave it at my door. I can't get more mad than if these people keep on saying, hand it to me, leave it at my door. And then when you get a hold of them, if you can get a hold of them, if you can, because they usually don't answer the damn phone.
Yep.
Or they'll reply to a text message, then you got to call for support. It's a nightmare. But then they're like, oh, I never put that there.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, shit. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? The Cookie Monster, or the magical fairy that hits the wrong damn button, jumped into your house, took over your phone, knocked you to the side, and said, I'm going to make this dumbass order.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, you know what? I know it's just, listen, it's not rocket science.
It's
right?
not.
Me and my wife work together. We bust our ass and we work hard. The last thing I need is a dog. Come on, man.
No, I hear you. You know, you said it. Okay, you said it yourself. We could, in the beginning of your car, we could send people to outer space, but we got people that can't order food on the app correctly. They can't give us a gate. They can't give us a gate code. They click the leave at door, but then they type in hand to me. They don't have the right address. They're using the wrong phone number.
Wait, I just thought of something. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know what I just thought of?
Yeah.
Because you're diabetic and I'm pre-diabetic. You know what I do? I do keto. Do you know that keto, because it doesn't have carbs? The diet doesn't have carbs, right?
Right.
So that diet helps you regulate your blood sugar really, really well. Like, you have to really stick to it, but it really does. Because, I mean, like, pasta and wheat and grains and shit, they all raise your blood sugar.
Right.
So my whole thing is like this. Like, how come there ain't no keto restaurants? But they might have a keto something, but it's usually like, oh, just don't order the bun.
No, they can't be keto. They can't be keto restaurants because here, not unfortunately, but part of what's either great or bad about this country is we like to eat, and we like to eat really bad foods. And
I know it.
You know what I'm saying? So those kind of places, while I consider them like boutique restaurants, you're gonna find some here and there in very, very specific cities and locations. But like those places aren't going to be busy. You know, if you're doing keto,
always laugh about the 40-piece nugget.
Dude, I mean, come on. Who needs 40? Nobody needs a 40-piece. Nobody needs a 40-piece.
Man, like 4 of them. Let me get 4 40-piece nuggets. And let me dip it in some butter. You got butter? I want to dip it in some butter. And then after I get the butter, I want to slap it on my wife's ass. Because you know why? She needs more ass. So I'm just going to put it right there. And then if you got a milkshake, get some. You know what? Give me all the fries with cutter and so much salt. I don't want to see no potato. No potato. I just want to see salt. But you're like, come on, man.
You know what, though? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not, I try to eat. I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in almost a year. It's been 10 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
That's
I know. And I like my pork and chicken, but like it's a discipline thing for me. And also,
you're Spanish, right?
What's that?
You're Spanish, right?
Yeah. And like I miss out on things.
People fuck up a pork chop.
Oh man, let's not get me salivating because I don't want to. But my point is like I don't always eat great. Like I like my things that taste good. I like my potato chips. I like my. You know what I mean? I like certain things like that. I like to drink a beer. That's not great for you. Oh, mac and cheese, all pasta. I mean, the breads, like all that stuff's so good. But like with anything though, it's all about.
I'm from Philly. I can't eat a Philly cheesesteak no more.
Oh man, that's bad. If you're from Philly. So okay, let me ask you before I get you off the line here. A Philly cheesesteak, and I want you to end this debate for me. A traditional original Philly cheesesteak. Does it have Cheese Whiz or does it not?
Well, no, listen, it's either provolone or Cheese Whiz.
Okay, so it's one of the other, right?
Cheese Whiz not, but Cheese Whiz came provolone. You know how cheese came. Let me give you a little knowledge of it. You can look it up. So back in the day when everybody was working and busting their ass, right? They only had scraps left, right? Like the restaurants only had scraps left.
Mm-hmm.
So what they would do is they would take the scraps of meat, you know what I mean? And they would make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah.
So back in the day, it was actually whatever the hell you had laying around. You know what I mean? If you had some onions, there'd be onions in it. You had some peppers in it. Because everybody was broke as shit. You know, this is depression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is back when people didn't have nowhere to live and shit. It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just whatever scraps you had. Now, Cheese Whiz, I don't know how far back it goes.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that old. Like, I think Cheese Whiz just came in like somebody, like a slam sandwich. You ever have a slam sandwich?
I have not had a slam sandwich.
A slam sandwich is you take 2 pieces of bread and you slam that shit together and pretend it's a sandwich.
Okay, no, I haven't had a slam. I've definitely had a sandwich with like some sugar on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sugar, ketchup, like. Oh, I've been there. I've been broke. I've had those. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Listen, I tried to make tomato soup over my friend's house with some ketchup and hot water. That shit did not work.
It doesn't work.
I was like, I'm making tomato soup. They were like, that shit ain't going. I ate that shit too. I pretended it was good. I was like, this ain't that bad.
Hey,
this ain't that bad.
Depending on how hungry you are, you can make it taste good. You know, you put enough seasoning on something, you put enough salt and pepper on something, you can make it taste all right.
At my boy's house, there was no seasoning. The seasoning was the Arm & Hammer baking soda in the back of the fridge, and there was no reason for that shit because there was no damn fruit.
Oh, that's funny.
You're like, no, I'm serious. Like, Philly, we grew up. Let me explain something. Like, you're in St. Louis right now. I don't know where you're from originally.
Chicago. I was born in Chicago.
All right, okay, all right. But listen, so you know, right? City people that lived in, I won't say city to make it nice.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
What I really mean is ghetto is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we all know. I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit, but I remember being like, waiting for your friend that just got a pack of cigarettes, and everybody's like, "Yo, let me get one. Let me get one."
Yeah.
Just right there. I'll give it back to you.
Yep.
And then everybody knew you weren't getting that back.
No,
you weren't
never.
getting that cigarette back.
No.
And a hug. You remember a hug? You remember the juice for hug?
Yep.
That's why most people got diabetes, because those hugs were nothing but.
Man, you know what I was talking about? I was with my pop's house 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about that. Growing up, we didn't have a lot, but my mom and dad, they did what they could do, right? But like you figure it out, right? But they would buy those at Aldi's, and they come in like a brick, and you get like 100 of you get like 100 of them for like $2, right? And it's like 4 or 5 ounces of little juice. It's straight high fructose corn syrup and food dye coloring, right?
Oh yeah.
But they taste so good. They're refreshing when you're a little kid.
Because you're a kid though too. I mean, come on. We used to take Pixie sticks and eat that. That was sugar. They were like, let's take sugar, put it in a stick, and color it. And these dumbass kids are gonna eat it.
Hey man, I'll tell you what. A lot of kids. I'm telling you right now, and you know this. Pixie sticks, that's lunch, bro. That's lunch. Or dinner. That's literally sugar. It gets you amped.
Or like Bubblicious and Big League Chew.
That's lunch, man.
Big League Chew, you put the whole damn thing in your mouth. You can't even shut your damn mouth. It's coming down the side of your chin. People looking at you like, what the hell's wrong with him? I think he's slow. You're like, I don't care. I am slow. Look at this shit.
It don't matter. I got 45 grams of sugar in my mouth right now. I'm good.
Right? Oh yeah.
Hey man, I appreciate the call and the laughs. This has definitely been one of the better calls I've had, man. Thank you.
People cheer up a little bit because we all need a little laugh in our life. I mean, come on.
We got to, man. I appreciate it, man.
With the back in the day, it was dumb as shit, but it made me smile, so I watched it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yo, listen, man. Come on, I'm dumb as shit too. We all gotta be dumb.
Listen,
sometimes.
I got enough videos about this and that. Like I got more videos on tips and tricks and everything than anybody else.
But do something on the things that like with customer support and stuff, because I think that a lot of people really don't understand how hard it is sometimes when you go somewhere and you don't want that bad review and you don't want people lying. Because here's what I learned. Here's a little tip and trick I learned. when you send them the message, right, you can hit picture, right? So you can take a picture and add it to the message that you're sending to the customer. So now not only did you send a message to the customer, but there's a picture of their food on their porch. So if they try to say something, you could be like, listen, that's their porch. That's that number. That's a picture of their food sitting on that porch, and you tell them it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to be safe, man. People are always out to scam. So I used to do it. We all scammed a little bit back in the day.
Well, when you're growing up and you don't have nothing, like, but once you don't need to do it, that's where people, and sometimes people don't need to. It's the ones that don't need to.
People should never be that hungry that they need to scam.
They should not, and that's a whole nother show. But hey, man, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna take the next one.
Be safe, man. Listen, keep on doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Keep it safe. And let everybody know, it's all right to be dumb as hell.
It is all right.
You don't be silly and stupid. I like the black and white filter. You messed up a little bit because I could see some blue. I could see a little bit of color. You need to fade it a little bit more. But I'll give you a thumb up and you get a hand for thumb.
Hey, I'll take it. It's like Cisco and Ebert. Right. I'll take it.
And you deserve it.
Thanks, man.
Safe, baby.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Later on.
Thanks. Good luck trying to follow that call up. That's all I got to say. What a cool call, man. Oh, my vibes are high right now. I don't know if it's the beer talking because I shotgunned the beer like 45 minutes ago. But anyways, let's take this next call. All right. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but you guys got it. You guys are wild in the chat. I think that's why you guys like coming here, because you guys be wilding out in the chat, which is cool with me. So, all right, let's take the next call. You are live with Pedro Dordas Santiago. Who do we have on the call tonight? Mike, how are you, my friend?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. What would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, let's cover it all.
Let's go.
I'm a survivor. 2017, I was diagnosed, emergency surgery, 25% chance to live, and here I am today. Wow,
man. That's I don't even know what to say. 25%. That's amazing. I'll say that. Wow.
Well, and I mean, the doctors are good, but the good Lord's even better.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes down to the will of the individual, too. I wasn't ready to go. I had too much to do. I have a good wife, a good family, and wasn't willing to leave them behind.
You know what? I think that, I can't speak from my own personal experience about the will, part and having something that serious. But I think I would agree with that. I would say that because I think there's something to be said for that. And I've heard many other stories where people they're not ready to go. And will is a thing, and I'll compare it in a very smaller, minor way. If I wake up and I don't feel my best one day, I'm not feeling great, right? If I allow my mind to stay in that space, like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to work. Oh yeah, you know what, I don't feel good. Or if I say, you know what, hold up, what do I got to do today? Do I need to take a couple? I got to have some will power to get me out of that mindset. And then sometimes that can make you feel better. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's when I think of will, that's kind of where I go with it.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to have the power. You have to have something to power through.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean,
you got to reach deep, no matter what it is. It could be just to get out of bed, or it could be to beat cancer.
Well, and you have a family, and that sounds like that played a major role in your recovery, right?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yes, sir. And another thing I want to cover, I do a lot of traveling. I do use DoorDash and the apps some. I don't use them a lot.
You mean as a customer, right?
As a customer.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm an older gentleman, and I'm of the mindset I like to hand an individual the money because I don't know if the apps are taking care of you all the way you need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And if I give you that $5, I know you got $5, not $4.10.
Yeah.
I know you got the whole what you deserved instead of somebody taking a cut.
Yeah.
And that's from my point of view. I don't know how everybody sees it, but a majority of the times when I have that option, I will always tip. I don't put the tip in the app. I will always tip when they're at my doorstep or at my motel.
Sure. You know what? I think you bring up a great point, and I've heard other people talk about this. I've spoken about it a few times. I think there is a generation of people, let's say 50 and up, 60 and up, right? That do normally tip when they were in their 20s and 30s ordering pizza and Chinese, they tipped the delivery driver a couple dollars, right? Like that was what was normal because we didn't have these apps then. So when these people, yourself included, are using these new apps that we just had in the last 5 to 10 years, it's normal for you and many others to want to tip cash because it feels like, well, my driver probably wants that more. Cash is king, right? And I think that there's obviously a disconnect between the app software, the drivers, and the customers because like there's some people that might be not getting their orders, but they do want to tip, and then some people that are getting their orders, maybe it's a little bit late, but then the driver's seeing a cash tip. But I get cash tips very infrequently, but that's only because I try to be selective in the orders and I know there's a tip on the actual app. But I think you bring up a great point for a probably larger percentage of customers than we'd like to even think that probably think about trying to tip cash. But there isn't any way, at least on DoorDash, for us to really know that unless we accept it. And then also the customer typed in, I'll tip cash or something like that. But there's no way. It's very hard. There's a big disconnect there, I think, between drivers and customers.
Yeah, and the app doesn't allow that communication, or it's hard to get that communication across as well.
Right.
They want to control the communication. They want to be the in between, and I understand that to a point. But at the same time, if I knew that DoorDash was giving you, if I was giving you a $5 tip and DoorDash is giving you the whole $5, I don't have a problem putting it in the app.
Sure.
I just want to make sure you're getting what you deserve.
Yeah.
And they're not taking a cut of that tip. They can take the cut of the service fee. They can get their cut elsewhere, but a tip is for the service provider.
Yeah, I agree. And, I talked about this a couple months ago on a video I did. I had the idea, and I think mostly it would work, and some people, very small, like maybe 1% of customers would take advantage of it just to get their food ordered. But I'd like to see if DoorDash and or other apps would actually leave a little icon for customers like yourself that want to tip in cash, and you could click on that button. So if it says leave at door or hand to me, you click on that. Then the next option would say, the tip option on the app, or a little box you can click, and it would say cash tip. So that when the offer comes through to me on the interface, it says Wendy's, $3, 2 miles, but then it says cash tip. And it tells me that you selected that. And then I might be more apt to take that offer. And, and that could be something simple that they could add in. But, I don't know how you feel about it. If you would like to hit that button, so then maybe that would make you feel like you'd get your order a little more timely, or make sure the driver actually got the money. But that was an idea that I had that will probably never happen. But
absolutely. Because just like you said, you don't take orders without tips because you're in the business to make money. Absolutely. I agree with you. I'm in a business to make money.
Sure.
If I'm not going to make money, I'm not going to make that run.
Right.
So if there was an incentive where I could make any prospective DoorDasher know that they're certainly going to get paid when they get to my doorway.
Sure. Yeah.
Then that would be great for me and them. That way I get good service. They are happy providing me that service, and everybody's happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a good point. And I appreciate you saying it from hearing from a customer's end, because we as drivers get so, we get so bogged down in our own ways, and we're just thinking about ourselves and no tip, no trip, and this and that. But sometimes we don't think about the customer enough. And I appreciate you bringing up that side of it.
The hourly wage.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
They're dashers, gig work. Everybody wants this job because it's more of an independent work, more of a self-employment type of work.
Yeah.
But yet these people that are preaching about hourly wages and whatnot, they want independent work, but yet they want the security of an hourly job.
Yeah.
If you want an hourly job, go to Walmart, go get an hourly job. It's one or the other. You can either be an independent contractor or you can be an hourly employee. You can't have the best of both worlds.
I couldn't agree with you more. And you know what? Everybody's hiring, right? Like you can get, like if the apps went, if I got deactivated tomorrow on Uber Eats and DoorDash and my vending machines went kaput and my YouTube got deactivated and there's no way for me to make money, I feel pretty confident I can get a decent paying job tomorrow. If not tomorrow, probably Tuesday, because a lot of places need employees or they need managers. So yeah, we can't have the best of both worlds. I think we're asking for too much sometimes in this line of work.
Yeah. And it'd be great if you could have that. If I could have that, I'd be in there too.
Sure.
I mean, I'd sell my equipment and I'd be dashing too.
Sure.
I mean, I'm old, fat and ugly. I wouldn't make much of tips, but I'd try.
I'm sure you do fine.
But what was the third topic?
Oh, third topic. So holiday season. What are your plans for holidays? We got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got New Year's Eve, you got Halloween, you got, Columbus Day or whatever, if people even do that anymore. We got those holidays coming up. What are your plans? And then, if you do gig app work, do you work on those holidays?
Well, I started a trucking company, a one-man owner-operator trucking company about a month ago.
Okay.
And this is my big F you to cancer. Pretty much saying, you're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
So, and if you have an email or if you would like to text me a number, I'd like to shoot you a picture of my trucking company's logo on the side of my truck.
I would love to. My email is in the about section of my page. Or you know what? I'll put it in the chat because it's public knowledge. So I would love to see that. Yeah.
And then you can share it with everybody else. You'll get a kick out of it. I think everybody else will too.
I would love to.
I screenshotted your dashing for a cause video the other day, and I screenshotted that, sent it to my wife. I said he stole my logo.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
My logo is hauling for a cause.
Oh wow, that's cool. Wow.
But yeah, I'll shoot you a picture of my logo.
Definitely.
Logo and everything, but
definitely do that. And I'll ask you right now. You could, if you send me that, do you mind me sharing that in a video at some point? If your logo or your story would that be okay with you?
Oh, absolutely not.
Cool. Awesome.
Welcome to share it all you wish.
Awesome.
If you need more information, ask me.
Sounds good. Well, I'll be looking for that email. Thank you.
But once again, I want to thank you for being real. I don't watch your videos for the door dashing or the dashing and whatnot. I watch the videos for you because you're a real, genuine person. And I enjoy you. I mean, I enjoy the knowledge that you provide through the dashing, but I enjoy watching you, and I appreciate you as a person on your videos.
Wow, that's a very, very kind words, and very humbled to have you say that. And if you've watched anyone's, I'll say this now before I let you go. I used to not always be like that, if I'm being honest. Like I used to be kind of shameful about certain things in my life and would hide things, and I'm not like that anymore. And it's very empowering for me personally, and that's part of this channel is just being myself, and it's very good for me. And my family watches it, my friends, people know, and like I am just myself. And some people don't think that, but this is me. And I'm glad that you recognize that. It really means a lot for me to have you say that. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time this evening, and I hope you have a good night.
Thanks, man. You too. Thank you. I'll be looking for that email. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Man, whew. That's humbling to hear people say that, especially a man that's gone through some things. He's older than I am. He's got a lot more wisdom than I have. And cancer survivor. I mean, he's betting on him. He's got a hauling. He has a one-man truck that he's got a company started 1 month ago. It's awesome stuff, man. Let's see what you guys got going on in the chat before we take the next call. Mods, I need you to make sure you're watching Roy. If he steps out of line, let me know. I'll take his mod wrench away. I don't want him acting crazy now. Hannibal, you got my back. I know. All right. Eric, what up? You're a vegan driver. What up? What up? Kathy, what up? What up? Krista, how are you tonight? What else we got in here? I love this. That's my boy, and you're a dashing gig, folks. World. That's my old man. Listen, my old man. I could talk about my parents. I could talk about other stuff besides gig life, guys. Trust me, man. I got some really remarkable parents that have a story. My father is it's my hero, man. It's my hero. Got a great family, man. And for so many years, I took advantage of my family, man. I didn't spend enough time with them. I didn't do enough. And I'm trying to do that now. Part of me not having a W-2 is like when my family wants me there, or can you do this? I try to always say yes. You know what I mean? And it just, it means the world to me that, my family has my back and they support me, man. It's very humbling. All right. So Marty, what up? What up? Show me Dasher. No, take away my mod. OMG Records. What up? What up? 5 a.m. alarm set. Later, y'all. Hey, have a good night, man. Wake up early, OMG. Get that money. All right. Let's take this next call. You are live with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hey, this is Jen.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. What topic would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, I think I mentioned in the comments as far as survivors. I'm not a survivor myself per se, but I do have some friends that have survived cancer. And, I think I mentioned it before as far as I have a friend who's part of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra group. She survived non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Mm-hmm. And it's inspiring to see her because she's really turned it around. And she went to medical school and became an EMS. Wow. And now she's been accepted to a school in Chicago to be a PA. So she's like a niece to me. We've really become close. Yeah. And I'm like so proud of her.
No, that's awesome. So PA, just remind me, I'm having a brain. Physician's assistant. Okay. Thank you very much. Cause I know there's some of those acronyms, it's like, all right, what does that really mean? All right. Physician's assistant. So she's like a niece to you. So she's a younger lady, I'm imagining.
Yeah. I mean, wow. I hit the big 50 this year, so I think, and she turned 29 this year.
Awesome. Well, happy late birthday. 50 is a big. That's a milestone. That's a big important birthday, right? Like, yeah, yes, that's cool. Yes, that's cool.
And and although this person doesn't have cancer, the one person that continues to inspire me every single day is my daughter. She is on the spectrum, the autism spectrum, and she's. She goes through her struggles. She's very low functioning, and just to see her get through her days every day, granted it's not cancer, but it's still a struggle for her. Yeah. And that inspires me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't have the spectrum, man. I feel like I had a conversation with a friend of mine that has a kid. That's autistic, and I feel like that's like the way they view the world is so neat in so many different ways, and it's unique. That's the way I would say it, and they're like it's like a genius. It's like a next wave of of this genius, I think, in a lot of ways. And
oh yes,
it's humbling sometimes to be around somebody. The few times I have, because they're just honest about things, and the way they view the world is very matter of fact, but it's actually quite refreshing in a lot of ways. That's my personal experience I've had. So that's what I would share with that, but I appreciate you sharing that. I know that's a personal thing, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah. Thank you. And, just to kind of talk about what I think a couple callers was talking about before, as far as tips and hidden tips, and do the apps show these tips and whatnot. I did have something this week that or can customers add a tip after, and in my market, I'm in Michigan, and I experienced it I think the first time where somebody added a tip after.
On DoorDash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this past week, and you know what, Pedro, I'm like you, Walmart, nope. Every time I see that come through, Kobe.
No, Kobe all day, yes, Kobe.
Yes, but you know what? Because I've been burned a couple times.
Yeah.
And I've only been doing this a couple months.
Yeah.
But something told me this past week, it was like 3 miles, it was like $12, and I was like, all right, Walmart, I will give you another shot.
Sure.
So I go and I deliver it, and and the thing of it is I bought myself a like little hand cart, little dolly hand cart, so I could take the groceries.
Yeah. That's smart.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I haven't had to unassign anything, but if I see it's like an apartment, 3rd floor, I will unassign that.
Yeah, there's no way. You got to be able to zoom in and see what kind of building is that, because there are times we don't know what we're going to Walmart for. And if it's an apartment complex and it's a couple floors, that could be an hour of your time, maybe,
Yeah. And I saw this wasn't an apartment, so I took it. And, when I got done with it, the whole thing, it was a $20 tip. I'm like, wow. Holy crap. All right.
Yeah. That's
the next day, I saw that it was $25. So she added an extra $5.
Yeah. I've done a few Walmarts. They hide tips on Walmarts, but then the customer can actually tip up to like so many days after an additional amount based on maybe the service or whatever. So that's great. I mean, not all Walmarts are bad. I think 99% of one from in my market are bad, but I've done enough, there's 1% that are pretty decent, similar to what you just had.
Yeah. But I mean, I was like, don't make me start taking Walmart orders. Walmart.
Maybe the algorithm, maybe it wasn't from the customer. It's just like not enough people are taking them in your area. So they're like dangling that carrot, like that was actually all DoorDash pay and they want you to do more now.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, and the thing of it is when I leave my house, I pass Walmart. So, because I usually just do lunch rush. And the whole reason I started DoorDash was because the direct care worker I had for my daughter, she quit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I work at Amazon, and I had somebody here to get her off the bus and take care of her until I got home at 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And when she quit, the direct care staff, there's a shortage here. And they're like, the agency was like, oh, sorry, we don't have anybody. And I'm like, well, what do I do? So I had to go to Amazon and say, I need to go on a leave of absence until I can find somebody. So I started DoorDash.
Yeah.
So, kind of filled that gap.
Absolutely. And that's what, I hear so many stories like that. And it's even more meaningful than mine, right? Because mine's kind of selfish in some ways, why I did this work. But there's so many people that have a story like yours. And that's the great thing about these gig apps. And I know I give them a hard time and a lot of us do, but they actually help a lot of people in whatever way we need to make money or how we're betting on ourselves or what we want to spend more time with our family. We want to do this, or we have a kid that has a need, or there's a school need or something. And it really allows us to still make money, but do it on our schedule. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's the best thing about these apps, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would have never thought of it. And, I don't know if it was Facebook or whatever, kept throwing it in my face. And I was like, okay, let me do this because I got to get some money in.
Yeah.
And, just like that started. And I was like, oh, I can make some money. All right, cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. I appreciate you calling in tonight and sharing your stories. It's very, very humbling for you to share with us. And I appreciate the call very much.
Yeah. And just one quick thing. Just kind of piggybacking on what that gentleman said before, not to give you a big head or anything, but I want to piggyback what he said. I totally agree with what he said as far as that I've seen the different videos and stuff like that, and years of the videos I have chosen to watch because I get the most information down to earth, and I think you get it, and you're not BSing anybody. So
I'm just
like, what's Pedro got to say today?
I'm just a guy with a phone in my car, like legit. That's and then what the video you get is what you get. And sometimes I might have an idea of where it might go if I want to talk about a subject. But honestly, it's just I'm showing you my day, and I appreciate you guys watching for that reason. So thank you.
And I have learned a lot. I mean, from your videos, I think I've learned the pitfalls and what to do, what not to do, and I think that's really helped me, navigate the system.
Sure, and that's I'm glad to hear that, because that's part of another reason why I do it every day, because I'm gonna show you the good and the bad. I'm gonna have a great day.
Yeah.
Talk about that. I'm gonna have a bad day. All right, I'm gonna make mistakes, and I'm gonna say, you know what, I made a mistake. Don't do this because I just did it.
Yeah.
Right? Or you know what, I took a chance. Maybe you want to try this because it actually worked, and make it fit for your market, and that's it. But I got a lot of videos, but I make a lot because I want to reach as many people as possible, because I do think I can help. And I like making them for my own reasons, because it's fun as well. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the call, and have a great rest of your Sunday, and happy holidays coming up to you and all that. So thank you.
You too.
All right,
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Gustavo, what up, man? I got your email. I'll take care of that for you, my friend. Thank you very much, Gustavo. Vegan driver, Bud Soda still in here. Pedro's advice has stuck in my head and helped me. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it, man. John, Roy will be Roy. Frank, my dad's still up in here. Matthew, what up? What up? I did see one I wanted to talk about. James, the problem with these gig apps, DoorDash especially, is that the companies rely on tips to compensate for the low base pays. It is predatory and should be illegal. That's a good point. I would say this. I would challenge that in this way. It's not, well, it is DoorDash. You're right. But that's the way the food industry, the service industry, has been built upon since right after slavery. I did a video on this, tipping culture in America. Like, these companies and or people take advantage of the workers and the customers, because most of what we make is going to be on the tips. So they actually keep their labor costs low so they can make more profit. Restaurants, cafes, bars, gig apps are all guilty of it. And it has a rich, deep history that goes way back. I did a video, it's probably been 2 months now. If you look at my videos, it's the video that the thumbnail is a mustard line and a ketchup line going across money. I really want you guys to watch that if you haven't seen it yet. Because a lot of us don't know how this tipping culture in America started, and came over from Europe and stuff. It's a very rich it's got a lot of backstory to it. Okay. So I appreciate that comment, James. I think, obviously I agree with that. These companies do take advantage. That's why I'm like, hey, we got to do what we got to do for ourselves. We got to make something, build something for ourselves. Use these apps as a stepping stone to do what you really want to do. We shouldn't be doing these apps like forever. Okay. Because at some point they will change. The pay will change. I think it will become more employee based, and that will make it harder for people like us, or at least myself, to have the freedom and flexibility to build something else, because then we become an employee. So it's harder to do it when you're an employee, I think. All right. Take the next call. You are live with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Good evening, Pedro. This is Dave from Coldwater, Michigan.
Dave, what's up from Michigan? How you doing, man?
Tired. Worked long this week.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, you were talking about tippings and stuff, and about customers not knowing. I've actually had a couple customers tip on the app and hand me the tip and tell me that they didn't trust the app, the company, to give us the tip.
Huh.
So that's why they tip extra. I tell them, well, I get my tips. I say, I believe. I know. How do I really know if the tip is really $2 versus $5? But,
yeah, no. There's no way of us really knowing unless I know DoorDash in the past and other companies have been guilty of stealing tips or taking some of the customer tip and lowering the base pay and like using the customer tip to pay us, and they've been sued for that, and drivers have been rewarded compensatory money for that. And there isn't a way. Like I can tell if there's usually a tip on an order, but I don't know. I have to use DoorDash's. I have to trust the app that they're actually giving me everything that the customer gave me.
Right. They didn't know. So that's also some of why they might want to just tip when they see you.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think some people just want to, like the caller said earlier, like they want to make sure it's going to the actual driver and it's not going to the restaurant, to DoorDash. It's not being shared in some way. And I think there's a good point. It's also kind of like when we tip, we usually tip in restaurants or something and we actually see the person getting the money, and it's like an actual like exchange of goods and services and service for this. And, that's just how society has made the tipping culture, unfortunately, or fortunately. But it's I just wonder how many orders maybe end up really late or not at all from the customers that do tip cash. And then they're sitting there waiting on a pizza and they're like, hey, I was going to tip $5 and they never got it, or they got it 2 hours late. And that kind of sucks for that customer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword either way, right?
Yeah, no, it is. I think it is. Yeah, I do.
But, he was also talking about, here's a story that happened to me today. Customer put in the wrong address. I get there. I'm at the address. The customer sends me a message that the wrong address is on there, so we should change it. She didn't know how. So I call customer support, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else can I do at this point? So the first customer support agent ends the chat without no resolution on me.
What? Like they hung up or?
Yeah. So here I am calling the second customer support. To make a long story short, the food was cold. I ended up getting reimbursed the whole order, actually. The whole amount.
Wow.
But I still lost because by the time I got this all resolved, I could have ran 3 orders.
Right. Time is money, man. Time is money. That is for sure.
And here's the funny thing. My next order was that same customer at the right address. Same items. A new order.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm that serious.
Wow. That's
wild.
wild.
We had a chat conversation going because I was telling her everything was going on as we were, was going on.
Right.
I thought she should know what's going on.
Yeah. So that tells me that there wasn't a lot of other dashers out there. If you got, you know what I'm saying? There was probably just a few, and you happened to get that second one.
I live in a small market.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a few dashers or just happened to be the roll of the dice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But survivor stories.
Yeah.
I don't really know any survivors. I had 2 that passed away from cancer and a grandmother that passed away from depression. I call it, because she committed suicide.
I'm sorry to hear that.
There's more to surviving than the survivors. There's families who survive.
Yeah.
We survived through this hardship.
Yeah.
That's how, it's one way I look at this too.
Well, I think you bring up a good point that we hadn't even really talked about yet. Is you have somebody that's going through a disease or illness or something in their life, but they have a family. They're going along with it. They're going along with that with them, right? Like that is a struggle for them. It's not easy. I think about a mom going through cancer and a husband that's got kids, and maybe he's got he's going through it too. Not physically, but maybe mentally, right? And that's a whole nother.
Physical.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole nother side of it, and I've been very lucky to not, my mother has overcome it, and I've been lucky to where I haven't. My family's been very healthy for the most part, and I've just been lucky. I can't, so when I hear other people share their stories, it makes me think about how grateful I am and how sometimes I can be ungrateful, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
Well, my friend, I appreciate the call. Anything else you want to say before we get off?
Actually, I got a question for you.
Sure.
You know how all the shipping containers are stuck out there, not being able to get our goods into us.
I've been hearing about it. I don't know a lot, but I've been hearing the rumblings in the news. Yeah.
Well, they're suggesting go ahead and start your Christmas shopping now, so you can hopefully get the items you want.
Yeah.
You think that might affect our gig work?
I wonder. I don't know. I think I think our gig work is still going to be good for the rest of this year. I think we're still going to be able to make money in most markets because, as we know, it's very market specific. I think people, some people are tightening up the pocketbooks, but I think as human beings, we go back to what feels good and what is normal for us. And we like to spend during the holidays. Even if we cut it back a little, we're still going to spend. We're still going to order food. We're still going to shop for our loved ones. So I think gig work is going to stay pretty much the same the rest of this year. I think in 2022, I think we're going to see some changes then. But I think it's going to be very, very, very status quo for the next couple months, in my opinion.
Well, I'm kind of wondering on the shop again. A lot of foreign food is sitting here, and we already have empty shelves.
Yeah.
You know, as far as, this order, I have to contact that customer. I think it might affect us a little bit.
Well, I think for like Instacart and those kind of orders, and like sometimes I'll do Walgreens orders on DoorDash because I really like those. And I get there, and it's like, oh my God, there's no Gatorade limes, no lemon limes, like there's none. And I open the thing up, and a lot of these shelves are kind of empty. But I don't know. I'm not, I don't know enough about what's really out there that we can't get to. I know it's an issue, but I haven't seen it really drastically affect my gig work yet. It's very infrequent. There's occasionally a few times a week where I have to tell a customer, hey, they're out of this. So I don't see it a lot, and I don't do Instacart. I think that's probably the main app where it's like, hey, somebody wants this kind of bread, they don't have it. This kind of cheese, they want, so many eggs. Maybe it's going to be more. Those gig app workers are going to be more affected than somebody like myself or somebody that exclusively does food delivery, like with those kind of apps. But, because I think that when I order, when I pick up food from like a local Thai place, if they're out of something, typically they will communicate with the customer, or they'll just substitute it or whatever, or the customer doesn't get it, but I still get paid. So I haven't seen it affect me yet. I think next year will be more affected than this year, but who knows? And maybe it's hard to really believe everything that's on the news anyway, with because some of the news is just so out there and it's so wild depending on the outlets you listen to. So I need to do my own research on these food shortage stuff because I'm just not up to date on
I live in a rural area where you live in a bigger city where your shipping might be more frequent. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Oh no, yeah. I think the same with like the gas. We had the gas shortages. I didn't see that because I'm in a spot where these gas tankers are gonna come here to St. Louis. But like if you're in a rural spot, yeah, those trucks might be delayed by a few days, and it could really affect your area way more than mine. Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, we got to look out for it. I think we got to. I would also say like there are people. We had this pandemic with the toilet tissue shortage, right? That's because some of that was because people were buying way more than they needed. So I think we have some people that don't have enough, and we have some people that are stockpiling for the apocalypse, and they've got all this stuff in their basement. And I don't think that's a good thing either. So it's hard, it's tough because like we get scared sometimes. Like with I never understood the toilet paper issue. Like I just didn't understand it. I thought it was wild. But there are a lot of people out there buying cases and cases of toilet paper, thinking that the world was coming to an end and they were going to be at home for 6 months. And that wasn't really the case. So some of the food shortages might be, because of that as well.
Pedro, I never understood the toilet paper either.
It was so ridiculous.
Why not buy paper, washcloths? Wash them, spend that money on MRE to do that.
Toilet paper is actually toilet paper. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. Toilet paper is a very new thing in the history of man. People were wiping their behinds with other things before toilet paper was even a thing. And people got so, people needed to buy like batteries and like other things. Like if I want to be stuck in my home for 6 months, toilet paper is actually probably very low on my scale of what I really need, if I'm being. So it was just so weird, Yeah, like, oh shit. I just hung up on him. Oh man. I didn't mean to hang up. Sorry. I didn't mean to hang up. Forgive me. I didn't mean to hang up, but we had a good conversation. So I was trying to hit the other button. But the toilet paper thing, let me know in the chat or call me. If you were one of the people that bought 20 cases of toilet paper, we need to talk. Because I think you got what I call mob mentality, and you saw everybody else doing it, so you thought you needed to do it as well. And I thought that was really funny, and it said a lot about like people in general. It was nuts, man. And I knew some people that did it, and they were like, toilet paper, we got toilet paper. How often are you using the bathroom? Like, I guess if you've got like a whole bunch of kids, obviously you need more toilet paper than other people. But like, what are we really doing out here? Like, I thought it was hilarious. All right, let's take this next caller. You are live with Pedro Dora Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight? Oh, they hung up. I can't believe I hung up on a guy. Never done that. It was definitely an accident. Let's look at his chat. Supply chain issues have affected all industries, mine in particular. Yep, my father's industry has definitely been affected. It's crazy, man. I just don't know enough about it, but I feel like it's just so odd how some things we're short on and other things we don't. And you got the inflation of prices on things like wood and lumber. And it's madness, man. It's madness. All right. So people panicked. Toilet paper was first, and we had tons of food sitting around. Then the following weeks were snacks and pop, then canned goods. Yeah, I know. Some people also have big butts. Yeah, Roy, you probably have a big behind, I would imagine. So, but not for long. You get on that health train, brother. Get on that health train. Coca-Cola is buying shipping space on coal freight. Yeah. Well, Coca-Cola. We need our Coca-Cola. People got to drink that soda, man. I mean, I'm saying they got to drink that soda. All right, let's see what else we got in the chat. Difference, but they said the price because they're loading vending machines. Yeah, vending machines. Okay. This is just gig work. Move on. All right, let's take this next call. Let's check this out. I feel so bad I hung up on that guy. We're almost done. All right. Oh man, are the Chiefs gonna lose? Oh, Mo Dasher. What's going on with the Chiefs, man? What is happening with the Chiefs? They're gonna be 2-3. Damn, son, that's crazy. All right, let's take this call here. You are live with Pedro Dora Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
I came back again.
What? I saw a comment you put in there. What's up, man?
Listen, man, I couldn't stop because I have to talk to you, right? So when you were talking about the one thing, right? Hold
on. 1 second.
I moved down south, right? Because I'm from, like I told you, I'm from Philly.
Right.
There's a thing called a carpetbagger. You ever heard of a carpetbagger?
No.
It's all right. So I didn't know what it was either. I was like, all right, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't care, right? So a carpetbagger is back in the day when there was a war. I mean, how long ago was that shit? Civil War. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. But anyway, I had this old dude, right? He's sitting outside the beer distributor, right? He's sitting out there, and he's got like a couple beers, and he's got his dog, and it's like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
And he goes like this to me. He goes, you ain't from around here, are you? I swear to God this happened. You could ask my wife, right? She says, you ain't from around here. And I looked at him. I'm like, how the hell does he know this shit? And then I looked at him. I'm like, well, because I don't look like him at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all right. So he's like, goddamn carpetbaggers. I didn't know what a carpetbagger was, so I looked it up. And here's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, there was a Mason-Dixon line, and after the war, I guess people from up north went down south and started making money.
Yeah.
People are still doing that shit. People are still looking at us like we're a divided country, and it doesn't make no sense.
Well,
what you were saying.
We are divided. I think we're divided on a lot of topics, actually.
Oh, we are.
Oh, yeah.
One thing we should all be united on is making sure we're okay.
This is true.
Don't you think, like, for real, like all the things you're talking about right now, like all the things that we're all talking about, everybody's saying is, the main thing is that, come on, man, like why can't, like, all right, you got you're doing the machines right now, right? You're doing the soda machines and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I saw that and I looked into it and I was like, you know what? It's a little bit expensive for me right now to put that much money into something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's an awesome ass idea.
It's definitely an investment, and these aren't brand new machines, but like,
you gave me that idea. We all need to give each other ideas.
People have been doing this vending machine thing. Isn't my idea. I got it from somebody else, but I shared it because maybe in your area it could be something. You're not gonna be rich on vending machines. You got to have like 10,000 of them to be rich, but like you could have a few and make a little bit of money while you sleep.
That's the main thing you're helping people survive. Like, as long as you can survive, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah,
like, that's what we're all trying to do.
Right.
Like, I think that after you can pay all your bills, right? Like, I'm not being funny right now. I'm being serious. If you can pay all your bills, right? If you can be comfortable and know that you have a roof over your head, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. You know what I mean? The problem comes when you put people in a bad situation and you're like, well, do what you got to do. Because then people are like, all right, do what I got to do.
Yep.
You don't want to see what the hell I could. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think I think a lot of us tend to sometimes forget. We think we have it bad, right? And I'm guilty of this too. But we don't have it that bad. Like a lot of us, we got to be a little more grateful for things, and we got to be a little more like understanding of like empathy.
I saw a guy today, right? I saw a guy today. He was like 50-some years old, right? And he had like a walker, and he was pushing himself across the parking lot. And I was thinking to myself, that sucks. Like, that's rough. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. And everybody's got a story. I believe that everybody's got a story. And there are bad people out here, and
exactly.
But at the end of the day,
listening to you right now. Listen, everybody, listen to you right now, right?
Yeah.
I want everybody to stop talking about it and be about it, because I think somebody like you, and this is no bullshit, I want people to tell their friends, even if they don't even listen. You don't got to be part of a gig economy. You don't got to be doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub or nothing, right?
Right.
Listen to people like us, see what we're going through, see what the daily struggle's like. And you know what? Maybe it can grow and people can learn and listen.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And I'm, when I started this channel, I said, hey, I want to help 100 people a day. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, maybe I can help 100 people a day. Whether I make you laugh, I give you a little motivation, I challenge you. Maybe you don't like me and what I'm saying, but then that sparks you to be like, you know what? No, that guy's an idiot. I'm going to do the opposite that motivates you to do the. You know what I'm saying? Do you get up in the morning?
Listen, I want everybody to do me one favor, right? All right, I won't bring it late again because that's what I like to do. I like to bring it late. Plus, I like all the comments I got. People like the shit I said, so I feel kind of good about myself right now.
Yeah.
And I got something else late. So here it goes, right? How come when you get fresh chicken nuggets and fresh McDonald's French fries, they are delicious, no matter what. I don't care what anybody says, they're delicious. But if you let them sit for more than 10 minutes, they turn into the nastiest shit you ever ate in your life.
Oh.
How the hell does that happen?
Because it's not real food.
No, it's not real food.
That's why.
That shit.
That's why.
Think about it.
That's why it's not real food. Like anything in this world, if you take it in quickly, you might not know any better, and it tastes good because you're hitting your dopamine fix of whatever you need in that moment. But if you let things settle and you really think about it, it's not as good as you think. And that's the same thing with McNuggets and French fries.
But I love Twinkies, and that bitch is A7. I would beat somebody up for a Twinkie. Being pre-diabetic, I can't eat a Twinkie, but I'll tell you what.
You can eat it.
Somebody said, listen, if you punch that little kid in the face, I'll give you a Twinkie and it'll be all right.
No, we can't punch little kids. We can't do that. I can't sign off. I can't sign off on punching little kids. You can punch a grown man.
It's horrible.
You can punch a grown man.
It's horrible. It's a joke.
I know it is.
Really thinks how I punch a little kid in the face. They're just retarded.
Well, maybe if it's a really big kid. Like, I'm not a big dude, so if it's like a big boned kid, maybe I'll smack him around a little bit for a Twinkie. It's possible. It's possible.
Sugar, right? Because how hard is it when people are like eating shit? You want to eat it. You're like, I want to eat this. That looks good. And then you're like, oh my God, if I eat that one piece, I can't eat no other carbs all day.
I know it's crazy, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm type 1. I can eat something like that. I just got to give myself a little bit more insulin.
But insulin is
I got to give myself
crazy expensive.
I don't even want to talk about it. Man. That's why I got a YouTube channel, man.
Well, you know what? Everybody better give him some money and get some Patreon.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I can't mess up because if I had to get insulin, they'd be like, oh my God. My parents, like people in my family would be like, you know what? We can't help them. These lost coaches. They push me off a cliff.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo, let's go to this cliff out by the shore. And they just push me off that bitch and be like, I don't know what happened to him. He fell. He fell. It was sad. We were sad.
I like how your calls can go from serious to comedic, lighthearted.
Because it's all real.
No, I hear. Listen, man, I hear you.
You don't have limited money, right? How many times have you had limited money and your boy's all hungry and shit, but he's broke his out, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what you got to do.
And he's like looking at your food, and you're like, you want some? And you're hoping he says no, but you know his broke ass is going to say.
But I mean, if he says yeah, you got to give him a sandwich. You know, you got to. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
you guys eat half your food. You want to beat his ass the whole time, but you're like, man, why can't you get a damn job and pay for your own damn food?
No, I hear you, man.
He has to do it, and then if you don't do it, you look like a cheap ass. Especially if you like the chick that's in the room too, because you don't want to look cheap in front of her.
No, well, I mean. Now I don't mind looking cheap in front of a girl, but I'm taking, so you know it's all good.
All right, listen, I've been with my wife for 20 years. Let me give a shout out to my wife real quick.
Please do.
20 years. I'm old, man. I'm older than your age. Like I'm old as shit. People think I'm young, but I think they just lie. I mean, I think it's just like trying to be nice. They're like, oh yeah, you look young, and they're like thinking to myself, oh my god, I think it's grandfather time.
What are you 40? I'm gonna guess you're 47.
47.
Yeah.
All right, not quite that old.
Okay. Well, I'll be 40. So when you said you're older than me, I was like, all right, boy, maybe he's in his 40s, like upper 40s.
I broke almost every bone in my body in a motorcycle accident. So like my body is like 110.
Oh man, that ain't good.
No, seriously, I was like coma. It was horrible, right? I woke up and I was just like, fucking somebody give me a cigarette, and they were like, nah, we can't give you a cigarette.
That's crazy, man.
And then like, you know the morphine button. Why the hell they give you the morphine button when the morphine don't come?
I don't know. I've never had to be in the hospital like that where I had that button.
I had the morphine button. They're like, hit the morphine button 2 times. We can't give you any more morphine. But don't give me the damn button. If you give me the button, I should be able to hit that shit as much as I want.
Well, you can't be. I mean, you can't. You don't want to hit it that much. You got.
Oh my god, you have no idea. I was in so much pain. Like I was like, they came with a rake and they were raking the stones out of my body.
Oof.
Like for real, like with a rake, like a metal, like a wire brush type thing. I got so mad, right? I was like, if you don't put me to sleep, I'm going to beat the shit out of all the fucking doctors in this room. I was losing my mind. You know what I mean? For real, like that's a lot of pain. So don't give me the button and don't let me push it. But anyway,
hey, we're good.
Go
ahead. Final words. Go ahead.
Me and you need to hook up. You need to come to Philly, right? You need to come to Philly. I'm going to show you around.
Hey,
you're going to get scared a little bit. You're going to get scared a little bit.
I don't think I would get scared, man. I've been in some rough neighborhoods, man. I would. There's a neighborhood that's going to scare me.
Listen to me. Philly has burning cars on the road.
Okay.
Like there's certain streets where cars are on fire, and you know that shit is stolen. Because why else would cars be on fire? I mean,
I'm not trying to spend time in a neighborhood like that. But if I ended up in a neighborhood like that,
Temple University. You know Temple University?
I know Temple.
All right, right behind Temple, you got like 4 blocks down. You can see some burning cars. No bullshit. Like no bullshit, right? Like
that's crazy.
No bullshit at all.
That's crazy.
Yo, Philly has gotten fucked up. And you know what? That's the problem, too. Like, everything is going crazy, especially now that, like, with the cops and shit. I'm not trying to get political. This ain't a political channel. But here's the whole truth with all that shit in my point. Philly needs cops. I don't give a fuck. Because I'll tell you what, if there were no cops in Philly, people just be dying left and right. People just be like the Twinkie I was talking about, people actually shoot somebody for that Twinkie. They'd be like, I want that Twinkie, I'm going to shoot them in the face. And they would take the Twinkie.
Well, that can't happen. No, that's crazy. All right, I'm gonna take the next call. I appreciate you calling again, my brother.
Take the calls. I'm going to try not to bother you no more tonight.
You good, man. Have a good one.
But the truth is, you need to hook up with me. Ask your people. Ask your people on YouTube. Ask your people. And we should hook up. You should come to Philly. For real. We could make a weekend out of it. I'll take you to Chinatown. Chinatown in Philly is beautiful, man. Like, you could get, like, a fucking apartment, right? You could get an apartment for really cheap. Like, a whole apartment for the weekend.
Call had to end. It was going a little long. Hey, hit my email, my friend. All right, so Philly. I gotta go to Philly. All right, let's see what we got here. Y'all talking about mayonnaise on stuff? I don't know what you guys be tripping. Listen. All right, what we got? We're almost at 2 hours. We got 82 people in here, so it looks like what's going on with the let's check the Chiefs game. Hold up. Topics of the evening, guys. Cancer survivor stories, inspirational stories. You want to share those with me and the people that are watching and the people that are watching the replay. Gig app, should they pay us just hourly and take tips out of the equation altogether? Good or bad thing? I don't know. I'm asking you. And holiday season, what are your plans? Do you plan on working the holidays if you're not going to be spending time with your family? So in your market, are holidays lucrative? Those are the topics of this evening. So let's check. I got to check the score of this game real quick. Oh, man, the Chiefs. What's going on with the Chiefs, Jeremy Modasher? What is happening, man? Let's check out these defensive passes. All right, let's see. What we got? Patrick Mahomes, man. 2 interceptions. That is not very good. All right, let's take this next caller. You are live with Pedro Dordes Santiago. Who do we have on the line this evening?
What's good? It's Sam, man, your vegan driver.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. Better than last week.
Well, that's a good thing. That's all we can do is try to get better, man.
Oh yeah. I got my phone replaced, so
that's good. I remember you mentioning that, man. That's not good.
yeah. At least confirmed it to myself. Like having a real cheap phone does not help you make more money.
No. Yeah. So you want to talk about the topics, or you got something else on your mind?
Yeah, sure. Let's hit the topics.
Let's hit it.
So number one was which?
Number one, survivor. So we're in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I asked people to talk about a survivor story. If it's personal, if you knew somebody, do you have a survivor story or inspirational story? And second topic was gig apps. Should they just pay us per hour based on your market? Tips shouldn't even be a thing. They just pay you $20-$25 an hour, call it a day. Third topic was, what are your plans for the holidays? And if you're not going to spend time with family, or do you plan on doing gig work during the holidays that are coming up?
Oh, man. All right. So I suppose I have something for number one. I guess my end of it doesn't get real deep, but so my grandma passed from breast cancer, and my mother has chronic myelogenous leukemia. So she is at a point now where I believe, like, after some tests that's coming up, that's the point where they could determine whether or not they would say from here on, like, we would consider you in remission.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really happen a lot with that one, I think, unless she mentioned to me one time. I don't know. She doesn't open up about it much. I kind of had to, like, tell her that it mattered to me and ask her one time.
Yeah, and those are tough conversations, man.
But she's actually a dasher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's in her late 50s, I'll just say.
Yeah, sure.
And she would appreciate it. And working around having health issues or having to get back home to, she has a little chihuahua, so small bladder, like just little stuff that's in your life.
Yeah.
It was very different than having to go back into the workforce and have people tell her what to do and that she's doing things wrong and all of that.
So it sounds like gig work is actually really good for her. It's a positive.
Yeah, it really helps.
Thanks for sharing that. Shout out to your mom, man. I'll keep her in my wishes.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll tell her she's on live.
Yeah.
So then to the hourly pay, I would say not. I think it's just it's always going to be a matter of, like, too many people are just looking at it wrong and are kind of misinformed. Like, it's a matter of perspective and philosophy. Like, if this is independent contractor work, then it's your job to source good bids. Otherwise, the other guy cuts more lawns than you do, and your truck fails. Like, you don't drive tractor around with your mowers anymore.
Sure.
So it's the same deal. If you want deliveries and you want to be a delivery driver and you like this and play in your radio, you can go work for Domino's or whoever.
Yeah.
Or you can find them yourself now with gig apps. And so the way I look at it, like, some people, it's a side hustle and they do it here and there. Maybe they don't even bother to, like, look at taxes or anything. It's like $20 here and there and they don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's apparently a lot of people, as we now know.
Yeah.
And then, even more that maybe do it for a little more than that, but not full time.
Yeah.
So I would say people who are doing it full time are the hustlers, not side hustlers. Like, this is people who are finding their own bids to drive and figuring out how to use these apps and what mileage and how to get around town and, all that it is to be a driver this way.
Sure.
You're hustling. So most of us are doing multi-app if you're doing it full time, because that's how you make proper money.
That's how you can make the most out of your time, I think, Yeah.
So, I think there's always going to be people saying, like, well, I signed up and I had to do this little application and they ran a background check, and then what they pay us is like, this is ridiculous. And it's like, well, sorry, you're in the wrong thing, I think, is my feelings on that. Like, you should go work for Domino's and they'll pay you an hourly and you'll have a better look at it, and the taxes will be up front, so you won't really have to worry about that. Believe me, they'll claim your tips on things on paper. So
Yep.
You'll get taxed on those twice, and you'll be sure that you paid your taxes on your tips, and it'll be easier and it'll be more like a job. But if you want it to be an independent hustle where you just tell people you don't have a boss and blah, 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 really do that full time, then you're going to be out there scrapping. You got to use a few apps. You got to get to know merchants well. You got to find ways around town that other people don't realize. Like, it's kind of its own thing. So
you could do it.
It's education.
And you could do that. I think people can do that. I think there are not a lot. The majority of us don't do this full time. That's what the numbers say. But I think there are a lot of people that were working maybe middle management somewhere, making $40,000 to $50,000 a year or less, and they're able to do this work and not have that kind of stress and make the same money. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? And do it when they want and write their own schedule and figure out the taxes. And, if you do it for a few months in most markets, you're going to be able to probably get pretty good at it, I think, if you're doing it full time. As long as you're not, short selling yourself and taking $2, $3 orders all day and running ragged. But I think there are enough people that can make a living off this. I think my opinion is at some point the bubble's going to burst, and I think there's going to be some apps that are going to just pay you per hour. And
there already is.
There are, and I think we're going to continue. I think we're going to see that trend, not anytime really soon, but I think it will happen.
It's just about how GoPuff works, and it sounds like that's how they're setting up the DashMart routes for the Dashers that take those nonsense half-hour back-and-forth trips.
Right. I think that's going to be the future of it, unfortunately, for some, because I think this is a good hustle for people coming up, doing things, and trying to figure things out. I think it's a good hustle. I really do. For people like your mother, for people like myself, I think it's a good side hustle if you use it the correct way and don't look at it like, I want to be an employee. I want benefits. If you want that, use it as a tool, man.
Hustle. Like, TaskRabbit has been around way before this thing really exploded, with driving, and DoorDash started doing McDonald's, and then it all went from there.
Yeah.
That's when it really blew up.
When they got the McDonald's, when they got the McDonald's contract, that was the end. I mean, because then everything followed that. All the big box fast food came right after that. Wendy's and Burger King. They had to follow to keep up. And
but anybody hustling anything, you might have used Craigslist. You might have went around town and bought bus benches or handed cards to people at the grocery or whatever.
You might have thrown newspapers out of a van. Now. Yeah, you might have thrown newspapers out of a van. My dad did that when I was a kid. Yeah. You know what I mean? Newspapers aren't what they are now, or they're not what they were. But there's always been side hustles like that.
Yeah, I think the big companies want people's focus to be trying to fight for these rights of they should pay us this much or blah, blah, blah. Now, I fully agree with some of the things that just got pushed about how they should obviously have tip transparency and that the customers should be allowed to you were just talking with someone about it. I think that's part of what got pushed in whatever it was, Cali or New York recently, that gig workers thing, that they should also have an option to check that they're going to do COD. And then assumedly the gig app knows, so there must be some sort of couple of strikes if drivers are reporting, hey, they didn't really give me cash when I showed up.
Yeah.
And people must get banned from using that feature or something. They could work it out, try to.
They could, but I think, there's so many other little issues with the app, whether it's on the tech side or whatever, that it'd be almost like asking too much because we don't even have some of the other basic things figured out on those apps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like mandating tip transparency. Transparency is pretty basic. That should be about where it's drawn. Anything else making it more like a job is people misunderstanding and then getting other people to talk really loudly about the thing that is being misunderstood.
No, I agree. Good point. Yeah.
And
so then, what about the holidays? You going to work this holiday season on those days?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Halloween might be like 4th of July. As soon as I thought about 4th of July, I was like, yeah, a lot of places are closed, a lot of kids in the street, a lot of explosives in the street. Like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Not driving all day.
I don't think there's a lot of money to be made, and or if you're out there, you're going to run into maybe some obstacles, maybe, you know?
Yeah, I'm not all about it, so I'll probably stay home. I mean, even getting out of your car, kids have all sorts of stuff. They might go stick something in your wheel well, you pull out, and then you have a bad night. Like, they're just like, ha-ha, right there down the street.
No,
I don't need that.
Halloween for me is a no, 100%. Yeah.
Heck no. But I'll probably be out there again for like Thanksgiving and the Christmas time and stuff. I made crazy money last New Year's Eve. It was like $300 a night for the 3 nights of like New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and the following day.
See, I wasn't doing it then because I was still at the casino then. My last day there was January 4th, so like I wasn't.
My brother's birthday.
I wasn't out. Cool. I wasn't out. So like I probably won't. I'll probably work like some of those days maybe during the daytime, but not at night. Like I'm not working Christmas at all. I won't work Christmas Eve night. might work Christmas Eve daytime, but like New Year's Day, I'll probably work New Year's Day, but not New Year's Eve. So only because like, I want to do other things, but I have heard the money's like primo on those days. I've definitely heard that.
Yeah, it was great. Looking back, I was probably lucky I didn't get hit being out for 3 days straight around the New Year's days. That was probably just luck. I got hit a few times after that, but
yeah. Well, and there's definitely safety things to think about. You got people on the road. You got drunk people on the road. You got, you know what I mean? There's just more obstacles, and
I always weigh that now on holidays. Like,
because to make that $300,
maybe not.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, like in St. Louis, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's Mardi Gras in St. Louis is wild. I remember one of the best
Chicago
days.
dyes the river green.
Oh, it's crazy.
Wild.
I made so much money Mardi Gras I guess it was 2 years ago. Rideshare was nuts.
I bet. Yeah,
in St. Louis.
Been able to do the rideshare thing.
Oh man, it was nuts. But then I think like I had to deal with a lot of drunk people. I had to deal with this. It's like, was it really worth making that $400? Man, in the moment it feels like it, but maybe it really isn't. Because one thing goes bad, that $400 is gone. You know what I mean? You get in a bad accident, you hurt somebody, it's always those things to think about. I think during the holidays when you have more people out having a good time and liquor's involved and like there's just a lot of other things in the air, Yeah.
Yeah, I usually tend to try and stay. Even when I was just cooking for years and years and years, I would like try as I might when I applied and first spoke with people or however we got hooked up, I'd say, hey, I really like to have Patty's and New Year's nights like off and not the next morning on either.
For sure.
Like I want to avoid that whole time, and then it would always come around and they'd be like, dude, we can't not have you, like you work the grill, it's St. Patrick, and I'm like, I don't care. I told you I don't want to be in a car after like dark anytime tonight into tomorrow. Like no.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
My
brother, I appreciate you calling in, man, and always sharing some knowledge with us, man. And I'm glad you got the phone figured out and your week was better than last week, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Take it easy. Thanks.
Talk to you next week, man. Hopefully. Thank you.
Yeah, later.
All right. Mike Dorman, thanks for the super chat. He says, I'm on a waiting list with DoorDash in the Brandon, Tampa, Florida area. I'll let you know how it goes. Cool, man. Definitely. DoorDash seems, I've heard good and bad things about DoorDash in that Florida area. Maybe not specifically Brandon, Tampa, but I have some friends and family, some friends actually that live down in Tampa. So definitely let me know how that goes. See what we got here. So, I don't know what y'all talking about. You're on the waiting list because there are too many Dashers. Maybe, John. There could be. So, Mike, are you on Uber already? Or do you do Grubhub? Are you starting gig work and just getting into? Was DoorDash your first one? I'll share. I have a very good friend of mine that just started DoorDashing last week, and he got approved the same night within hours and was dashing. He could have dashed that day. That tells you my market's not oversaturated. Like they approved him, and he's worked, I think, 4 or 5 days in the last week. So, So that's that. So topics, we'll go a little bit longer. Maybe I'll take another call or two. So for those of you that weren't here, I shotgunned this beer because I did a video that got over 500 likes. So I shotgunned it in the beginning of this video. I said if we get 150, I'll do it again. I don't want to do it actually, but I said I would do it. So if you want to hit the thumbs up, you can. Topics for the night on the call-in show. We're talking about survivor stories, cancer or whatever else, inspirational stories of surviving, what that means to you, whether it's personal or maybe sharing a fellow friend or family member's story. For those of you that don't know, my mother's a cancer survivor, so that's why I brought up that topic. So shout out to my mom. I call her Home Skillet. That's the nickname I have for her. So second topic we're talking about is the gig apps. Should they just pay us an hourly wage? We're still independent, but they say, hey, you're out there delivering what you deliver. As long as you do 2 or 3 orders an hour, we're going to pay you $20, $25, whatever that is in your market. It couldn't be the same for every market because cost of living is different in different places. What do you think about that? Third topic, what are your plans for the holiday season? We got Halloween coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Are you going to work? If you're going to work, is it good money to be made? So those are the topics for tonight's call-in show. Let's go back to the chat here. Let's see what we got. Bud Soda. Let's see if we can get somebody. Let's see if I can get somebody else to call in. I like to get a new caller if I can. Let's see. See, we got any new names in here in the chat I haven't seen yet. Elizabeth Weaver, how are you? Mayo on anything is delicious. I like mayonnaise. I don't put it on everything. I made I have these spicy black bean burgers. I do like a double stack. I chopped up some onions and mushrooms, sauteed them, put that on the burger, a little mayo and a little spicy barbecue. Fantastic. Very good. Toast the bread. Amazing. That was for lunch today. So I do like mayonnaise. Anthony TV, what up? Ricardo De Jesus, what up? Bella, how are you? Got some new names in here. I like to see new people in here. Dom, thank you so much for your vlogs. Just started to DoorDash. I can only do it on the weekends, but I have so much fun. You've been so helpful. I work 13 hours at my full time. DoorDash is my fun money. I like it. Get that fun money, man. It could, if you know what you're doing and your market's all right, you can make that extra cash on the side for whatever you want and spend it on one. It's fun money. It's good. Maybe that's your beer money. Maybe it's your gaming money to buy new games. Maybe you're into shoes. Maybe you want to buy music. Maybe you want to get a guitar. Like, it's fun money, right? It's going out money, taking your girl or your boy out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's good for that. So Middle Earth story time. Hawaii was 30 to 35 an hour all day today. Hawaii. Shout out to Hawaii in the house. Nice. Frank says no hourly wage. I agree. I'm not looking for that either. Post number. I put the number up right here. 52. Eventually, I'm going to have, we will be moving soon-ish, and I'll have like an office, and I'll have like a board up. I'll have the number and the featured channels, and we'll have this stuff, and it will get better once I get more space. Right now, I'm in my kitchen, sitting at my kitchen table. So, see what else we got in here. Yo, the pixie sticks. Yep. Scorpion, what up? What up? Hey, do that overnight, man. Be safe. Be safe. Sean Murphy says mayo is gross. A lot of people don't like mayo. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. Earlier in the chat, people were talking about putting it on hot dogs. I put it on hot dogs before. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Shags, you good, bro. Listen, you good. It's no problem. Not needed, but thank you. We got a next caller here. Let's see what we got here. You are live with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
It's Pinky. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fabulous. I think we're going to start calling you Uber Multi-Up Santiago business owner. What's this?
My name's going to be too long for YouTube. So maybe I have to like condense it into some kind of like acronym or something. I don't know, but I'm up for suggestions. So it
would be perfectly like Puerto Rican though.
It would. Long enough. It would. My daughter actually, Ruby, my newborn, she has 2 middle names, and like it's very common within our culture. Yeah. So, what's going on? What do you want? What do you want to talk about tonight?
Actually, a few things. So, going back to the Instacart thing, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but the quality of the batches instantly went down, and of course, all of the, with the DoorDash requiring Instacart. Yeah. If people have noticed kind of the change in the quality of the batches, people notice the change in the pricing.
Hold on, did you say DoorDash acquiring Instacart?
Uh-huh.
Did
recently.
Did that happen? I didn't know that happened. I thought they were trying to.
Oh, I thought it did.
Well, from what I
understand, that they were going to strike and they weren't going to do it.
From what I've read and what I've heard is Instacart is what their moves, and some of their people have said they're trying to they want to sell this. They're trying to make it look profitable. And people thought DoorDash was in the running to buy it. Maybe conversations were had, but nobody has bought it yet. But a lot of people expected DoorDash to do it just because of the market share DoorDash has and how big they are. They thought, okay, DoorDash would make sense for them to buy Instacart. They want to get more into the grocery delivery anyway. But I don't think it's happened yet. It's not to mean that it's not going to, though.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the clarification there. Then the other thing was all these tech bumps.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, literally, I don't know if anybody notices this, but a lot of people are both Dashers and they have their customers, so they have the app. Not a single person got a notification from DoorDash saying anything. And as far as customer service, because again, this is kind of where you touch on DoorDash being detached from kind of the normal expectations of the food industry, but also customer service and the human side of it.
Yeah.
They can't blame the algorithm when they don't put out a push message, using even just the text message, just to let people, give them a heads up that there's some technical issues. Again, I had to go on downdetector.com. That's my resource for whenever apps crash.
Yeah, I've heard about that app. Is that you really like? Is that really helpful? Okay.
Extremely, and it shows all the apps, how long, when they started. It has a mission board where everyone can post publicly what's going on. A lot of Dashers will actually share their kind of device and their market area. So sometimes there'll be an outage in a certain region or something like that. But downdetector.com's been really great.
Is that a free app or paid app?
Oh no, it's a website. You can actually go in your browser, and you can check it there. You don't have to download anything.
Interesting.
All you have to do is have I think you have to have some sort of valid email or something. You do kind of have to register and sign up for it, but it allows you to comment. It allows you to do all that, and it's kind of just a springboard for information. And it was invaluable for me because, those days where you open the app or you turn it on, nothing's working, your earnings are gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Or whatever happened to everybody the last couple of months. It was really helpful. The other thing I wanted to touch on was the betting on you, and using this as a springboard into other things. You mentioned that you were. I know you're probably going to bring it up in another show, but can you give a taste of some of the things you were able to do because you were dashing versus what you were doing before? Since we're kind of sharing those stories.
Oh, absolutely. I spoke about it a little bit, but not in detail. So I to not say too much because I get long-winded. I came from restaurant management. My last job was a director at a casino. Left doing that because I had these ideas. I wanted to do more, and I wanted to spend more time with family. And I thought, you know what, I can do DoorDash. So for me, what DoorDash has allowed me to do is the first thing is it's freed me up to think about other little side hustles, whether it's the vending machines that I have or the delivery business I want to do for local small businesses only. So to be completely transparent, I knew I could use DoorDash to make money, but also learn my market and build relationships with the local small businesses. Because in St. Louis, I have a lot of locally owned, operated small businesses it's like a small community of, let's say, 50, and they all know each other. And it's very, very, it's a community of business owners, and they know, and I saw DoorDash kind of in some ways helping these people through the pandemic because they were able, because their restaurants were closed or whatever, or the walk-up windows were closed, and they wanted to still make revenue. But I feel like DoorDash took advantage of some of these people based on conversations I've had with them because of the fees that they charge. And they just took advantage of that situation that was the pandemic. So for me, my business is geared towards helping the small local guy. This isn't going to be a multi-million-dollar business, but I can make money while helping my local neighbor because these are people that live in this city that I live in.
Right.
So DoorDash has allowed me to build these relationships. So I feel like it's odd, and some people don't agree with this, but I've done a lot for DoorDash because I do it full time. I deliver for them. I have a YouTube channel. I talk bad about them sometimes, but I also talk about how great of a side hustle it is. So a lot of people, I'm bringing people to the gig apps because I think it's a great way to do a side hustle while you're betting on yourself. So, and I have this YouTube channel, so I'm making money on YouTube. So I couldn't have some of these things without doing DoorDash specifically and having the gig apps. So just in this last year, by doing this full time, it's afforded me to have some side business on the vending machines, to make money on YouTube, and to also cultivate relationships for the small business of delivering for these local small businesses in my market. So DoorDash actually has done a lot for me.
Awesome. And that kind of brings it around. And I'm glad that you share that, because I think a lot of people they think it's like some teenager, that's delivering their food. The Dasher, all the fleets, I'll say, on all the apps are full of awesome, overqualified people that are making big moves in their lives.
I think that DoorDash tells us, based on the information they give us, 90% of people that do DoorDash do it part-time. 10% do full-time. So I'm within that 10%. But I think the most of the people that are doing it for that side hustle money to achieve their goals a little quicker. Maybe it's, pay off a car quicker, pay off a home, help pay for the kids' child education. Maybe they got into gig work because of the pandemic and they lost their job and they needed it just to make ends meet for a couple months. So I think there's a lot of benefits. And I think there are some people that would say, yeah, there are a lot of overqualified people doing it. That's one way to look at it. Could I be doing another traditional type of job that has more prestige? Absolutely. But do I feel good about doing this? I feel great about doing it, actually, because right. I'm doing it on my own time while I'm working towards other things.
Yeah, well, and to share one of my personal things, it was my goal to be licensed in all 50 states, to do healthcare, to do Medicare, and also to get my commercial real estate license. Mm-hmm. I got the first one done, and nice. I got the next one to do. Nice. And so, there's ways to think about yourself, in the situation. You're not just someone that holds a bag and drops it off. You can be whoever you want to be, no matter what it is you're doing for a living, and you can paint a picture for yourself. Yeah. Make sure it has you in the absolute front, in your family, and then from there start making plans and put your feet ahead of yourself. I don't have a college degree. I probably will go my whole life never having a college degree. Yeah. I don't have one. I don't have one either. To reinvent the wheel either. Yeah. But I can make moves that are going to be really good, solid moves for me and my future and my family. So anyway, I just want to hear a little bit more of your story and kind of where you come from. People can realize this is someone with food industry experience too. So you kind of know how things work. Yeah, I worked the food industry a long time. I started, my first job was at Applebee's in food industry. I guess I was 26. Wow, yeah, and I served tables and then became a manager. And then I ended my career as a director, managing hundreds and hundreds of people and a lot of outlets. And it was fun. I learned a lot. And I do not have a college degree. All I had was sweat equity and a little bit of brains, and was willing to work really hard, learn from people that knew more than me, took opportunities. I was always my biggest cheerleader at work. When promotions would come up, I would get them usually because I worked hard. And, I surrounded myself within my jobs with people that were smarter than me, so that I could learn from them. And that was always, and that's something I could always fall back on. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to, and I don't think I ever will need to, because I'm trying to build something for myself. And that just makes me, and that inspires me more to get up and do things than working for somebody else. So. Nice. Well, thanks for sharing your story.
No, thanks for asking me about it. Thank you. And I always appreciate your questions and your support. Thanks. You have a good night.
You got it. Bye.
All right. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so 2 hours and 22 minutes. I will take one more call, I think. And if we get 37 more thumbs up, I have to shotgun another beer. I'm just saying. I don't want to, but that's what I said. So let's see what we got in the chat. Shag's Cats, man, I didn't mean to hang up on you. Sorry. It's all good, though. Appreciate it. Cash tip, leave it door. Where's the money? Yep, certainly is an operative word. Ricardo, I've had people leave that in the notes, like cash tip, but then they tip on the app. And I know sometimes customers, those old notes that they write in, they just stay there and they don't even remember they're there. And it's weird. I think when customers leave notes, they should go away after that delivery. And if they need new notes for the next delivery, the next day or the next week, you should have to put new notes in. So I've been caught that way. Lynn, how are you? Gig economy, talk with Lynn. Hi, everyone. We've been here for a little while. So Middle Earth story time. Thanks, man. Thanks for the lessons from your from following your channel. I was able to spool up quick and definitely bolstered our savings in my spare time. 0 to 60 in just a few weeks. That's what's up, man. That's what's great about these gig apps, man. If you're trying to save or pay for something, like these gig apps are really good for that. They are really good for that. If you got a little bit of hustle in you and you got a car, I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's not hard work. It can be frustrating, but you can do it and make some good money on the side. I really, really believe that. So appreciate that, man. Payman, what's up, man? How are you, brother? I know I always see you on Roy's channel. I think you came over from his, so I appreciate your support. You appreciate you being here, having some lively combos in the chat. So, but sort of waiting on the last order. Come on, Taco Bell, man. They be slow sometimes. They be slow. Touche about the hourly job. Everybody got choices. I'm in my E40 voice. E40. E40's still around, man. I remember in high school, he was E40 from what I remember was like, he would make up these words. He has his own language and he would rap and he would put words together. And his wordplay was ridiculously dumb, crazy, stupid in a good way. So E40, man, he's an OG. I believe that no one is overqualified for any job. I've been using this as a chance to learn about people and their behaviors. I'm working toward getting licensed to be a mental health therapist. Alan, now that's very unique. I'll say that. You're using this. Let me read that again. I believe that no one is overqualified for any job. I've been using this as a chance to learn about people and their behaviors. I'm working toward getting licensed to be a mental health therapist. Good luck, man. Marty, what up? Did you hear the new Tech 9 in Iraq? I have not. I know Tech 9's from Kansas City. My brother's out there. I have not heard it. I have not, but I will check it out. If it's on Apple Music, I can check it out. I got Apple Music. I don't have Spotify or anything like that. That's a great source of candid information. I waited an hour at a Walmart today. Ray, why? Let me read this again. Hold up. I waited an hour at Walmart today for a stack order. Said was 16 for both. Ended up being 28. That's good. And got a $5 bonus for each order for waiting. Okay, so you made $38 in an hour. Fantastic. That's not bad. But I can't. I'm too impatient. When it gets to like some merchants, even when it gets to 5 minutes, I start getting like, ooh, am I missing out on a better order? I get to 10 minutes, I'm like, should I unassign it? When I get to 15, most of the time I will. Sometimes I'll wait, depending on the day, time of the day, and the merchant and the size of the order. I don't know if I can wait an hour though, because that in that scenario it only showed you $16. I would have had to let it go. But I'm glad you got 38 overall. It's good. Congrats to your mom. Thanks, man. 5 minutes feels like 45. Hey, man, Marty, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. Was slow, so I took a gamble, ended up paying off. That's what's up. And that's part of it. You got to know the time of day. In my market, if it's 11, 11:30, 12, 12:30, nope. If it's 1:30 or 2 or 2:30 and it's slow, I probably will wait a little bit. I'm going to wait more because I know that the offers coming in aren't going to be as plentiful and as lucrative, and there's not going to be as many. So if I got one in my hand, I'll probably just keep it. But there are times if it's peak time and I got one in my hand, but it's just taking too long, I got to let it go. I got to grab it. I got to grab the next one because I know that app will keep going off where I'm at. So I start sweating once it hits that pickup time. Anxiety takes over, man. That pickup time is a real thing. But what I've learned, some of these merchants, at least the locally owned, like the small business ones, they got that tablet and they dispatch it. Some of them dispatch it so well, and other ones, I'll accept an order and I get that text alert. Ooh, Pedro's order's ready. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. And I get there and they're like, oh no, it's going to be 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, it just said it was ready. So that's a bad host or manager or whoever, bartender, hitting that tablet in a bad way. And I'll be quick to unassign those too. Because if they just started the food, depending on what it is, I can't wait. I feel like I'm missing out. And it's part of that anxiety. It's like, okay, hold up. I can't sit here. Like, I just can't. I can't sit still. What was the big drag? Congrats to you, man. Behind every strong man. Yeah, 2 days that stuck to deliver July 4th, and 2 days that sucked to deliver July 4th and Halloween. Too many people in the streets. I did July 4th. It wasn't great for me. It was average, a little below average. Halloween, I've never delivered on Halloween. I will not deliver this Halloween, with the exception of might just do lunch. I can see myself doing lunch. But then once it hits, let's say probably 3:30 or 4, I'll be done. But lunchtime, I think in my area, because Halloween will be a weekday, I would imagine, I'll still be able to make the same amount of money. But nighttime, no way. I'm not driving around with the kids in the neighborhoods, and some neighborhoods will be blocked off where I live because they got kids, and not doing it. Love when they claim it's the tablet's fault, and we're like, your manager, you're supposed to. I know. It's crazy. Ray, what's up, man? Appreciate that. I stopped going to Chipotle and Panera lunch and dinner was times are the worst. So my Panera is 50-50, Dom. It's so crazy. This past week, every order I started my day with for lunch was from Panera. And I think 3 out of the 5 from Monday through Friday were stacked, and they were good orders, and they had hidden tips. But sometimes I get there and I gotta wait, and it's like it always depended upon what manager's running that shift. I've noticed, and if this manager, I'm waiting 20 minutes. If it's this manager, I'm waiting like 5. So sometimes I get there, and if I see that person behind the counter, I just walk out because I know it's gonna be long. So very dependent upon staff and managers. So. Chipotle for me isn't that bad, actually. So I've had to unassign quite a few, but mostly Chipotle. There's a newer one on Hampton that is pretty good, and then the one on South Grand, which I've done most of my Chipotle orders from. 75% of the time they're good, 25% of the time they're trash, but it's all good. All right, so topics of the night real quick. I'll put the number one more time in the chat in case somebody else wants to call. We are talking about survivor stories, whether that's cancer or some kind of illness. You want to share a survivor and or inspirational stories since it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My mother is a cancer survivor, so if you want to share a story with us, you can call in and do that. We're also talking about, should the gig apps just pay us an hourly wage? And don't even worry about the tips. Pay us hourly. If a customer tips, that money goes towards the pay that they're going to give us per hour. Should that be an option? Would that get more customers for their food? Would it make it more seamless? Would it take the guesswork out for us? Would you be okay with that? Third topic, what are you going to be doing during the holidays? Are you going to be working? Or are you going to spend time with your family? What are your plans? So I'll put the number in one more time. If anybody else wants to call. And if nobody will, then I will get back to, I think that's my number. I'll get back to my girlfriend because she probably wants to spend some time with me tonight. The baby's sleeping. Maybe we'll sit down, watch a movie. Who knows? Probably need to do that. It's already 11:33. But if we get a call in the next couple minutes, I will take it. If not, we'll say hooty hoo to the owl, Mr. Owl here. All right. For those of you that missed it, I shotgunned a beer in the beginning of the live at about 15 minutes in. So if you watched the replay and somehow you skipped, you need to go back. I humiliated myself a little bit. This was the beer. I thought I did pretty good. I gave myself a 3 out of 10. Some people said I was 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I got a little sticky. My legs, like we got a little wetness going on over here, but we had fun. I had a video that I said if I get 500 thumbs up, it came out maybe 4 or 5 days ago. You guys did that. Then got over 600. I said I'd shotgun a beer. Man, my word. So we did that. So see what we got. I need to go. Have a good night. Frank, have a good night, brother. That's what she said. Gonna go watch this last 2 minutes of the Buffalo and Chiefs game. You know what? Let me look at my app here and see what's going on. They're down 18 points. The Chiefs are going to be 2-3. What is happening with Patrick Mahomes? He's not having a bad year, but he's not having the year he had his second and third year. I will say that. And I always say this. The way to stop the Chiefs is you stop Tyreek Hill. Let Travis Kelce eat. Let him run the ball. Let's look at Hill's stats. When he's under 100 yards and no touchdowns, they don't win. Let's take a look. Tyreek Hill has 7 catches for 63 yards, 1 rush for 15. So he's under 100 yards total, no touchdowns. That's a recipe for disaster for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they got 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions. This is not good. Travis Kelce, decent games, got a touchdown. I mean, when McCole Hardman is your leading receiver, that's problems. The Buffalo Bills don't have a great defense. I don't know what happened tonight. Josh Allen had a pretty good game, 315, 3 touchdowns. They ran the ball really well. So time clock management, they've got 150-something rushing yards, the Bills. The tight end, 117 yards on 3 catches. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So we got somebody calling. This will be the last call of the night. And I'm going to win my fantasy. Got 114 points. The guy's got 95.5. And I still got one guy going tomorrow. I'm going to win. That is fantastic. He had Patrick Mahomes. All right, you are live with Pedro Dura Santiago. This is the last call of the night. Who do we have on the line tonight?
All right, it's me again, and I know I'm fucking acting like a stalker, so I apologize. Plus, I gotta watch my mouth, and I'll try to.
Yeah, watch the language. But what's up, man? What's going on?
I really will. But listen, this is the when I watch you, like, you know what really makes me happy is like I feel like I'm part of a community.
That's good.
That's good. I think that I think that's what you're doing for people. Like I like Nugs. I like you know what I mean? I like all of us. But here's the whole thing, right? I think that we need to have people like you. We need to have people like me. We need to have all this silliness and just try to bring some joy back into the world. You know what I'm saying? It's so dark right now. The world is dark.
It's pretty dark, man. It's pretty dark. It can get dark. It don't have to be, but it is.
And here's the truth. Like, when you deal with DoorDash, Uber Eats, I work all of them. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, I work all of them. Because I have to if I want to make money where I live. Like, real money. You know, like decent money. Like, pay my bills money. You know what I mean? I got to work all of them.
I hear you,
but here's the truth, right? And I'm not saying, I don't want to come across the wrong way, but nothing goes to America. You ever notice if you call any company, nothing goes to America, ever?
Nothing. No.
Nothing. You never talk to somebody from America handling a call. And I'm happy that people overseas are getting money, you know what I mean? That they probably have it worse than us, but are they even getting paid what they should?
I mean, who knows? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Exactly. None of us know. So here's the problem, right? You're talking to somebody. They don't speak that good English. You're getting upset with them because their English isn't that good. But you know what the truth is? I speak a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Italian, and mostly English. So it's so easy to get mad at people, right? You get mad because you're like, oh my God, I just explained this to you.
Yeah.
They're probably listening, but first of all, they're reading the script, right?
They're reading the script,
and do their job.
This isn't their first language. Yeah, I mean.
Exactly. But here's the whole thing. We need people if you don't speak fluent English, and I know this sounds bad, but you shouldn't be dealing with fluent English countries. You know what I mean?
What's the workaround? Because what the part of the issue is.
Philly, you know what they do in Philly? A lot of places that are really good. You go to an Asian place, right? And they have a person it's usually an old white lady. And she speaks really good English because she's an old white lady. But you know what I mean? She knows. You know what I mean? She knows exactly what you're saying. And I don't know if she can speak whatever dialect it is. I'm not trying to be racist. And you know what? If anybody wants to talk trash, whatever. But here's the thing, right? All of us, right? I think we're all saying the same thing in general, but we don't understand each other. And that's what, my whole point is. My whole point is this. People like you, people like Nugs. You know why people love Nugs? You know why? Nugs got more traction than you. I'm not trying to say that to be rude. I'm saying that's the truth.
Yeah, Nugs is he's relatable, and he's relatable.
Because he's goofy. You know what I mean? He's goofy and he's silly and
he's got no humility. He can make fun of himself. He can make fun of things around him. He's funny.
You look kind of cool. You look like the dude in school that you have friends and shit. You know what I mean? Not to sound weird, but do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
We all want somebody that makes us all feel like we're united.
Sure. And there's YouTube. There's enough different kind of people on YouTube where you could find that person or those people, and then that's who you watch. You know what I mean? That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, but I think you need to do more. It's just my opinion. You do whatever the hell you want. You're not doing a bad job, as I say. You know what I mean? You're doing a good job. But just an opinion from somebody else, right? If you came a little bit more about you, right? About you. You know what I mean? What you're about. What you're about. When you get mad, be mad. Tell it. You know what I mean? When you get mad, I notice a lot of times you say, oh, I got to center myself. I got to calm down. I got to relax.
Yeah.
That's some easy shit to say. It ain't some easy shit to do.
It's not easy to do.
Maybe even do a couple of fucking side videos, or excuse my language, but there's some side videos where it's like, this is how I relax. Because you know what? A lot of times people lose their mind. And we need somebody, like we need people to go, it's okay to get mad, just deal with it the right way.
Listen, I can't, if most of the time when I get upset or something happens, I'm recording like the minute after. So you're seeing it mostly in actual real time. It's just from hours ago. But like I used to get real mad. I still do about certain things, but I try not to because it doesn't serve me any good. Like I don't want to, I've been that.
Yeah, but that's a skill you learn.
Because I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. So when you make so many mistakes, you got to learn from them at some point. So
you come off too zen though, man. Sometimes like you come off too zen. Like I'll be mad as shit when I'm working.
I mean, I gotta be, man. That's me right now in my life. I have to be.
That's awesome, and God bless you, and thank God you're doing that, especially for your kids and everything. You know what I mean? You know, for your people. But sometimes I think, especially people like me, I need to figure out how to handle some of this anger sometimes. I
mean, I don't know, man. I mean, you gotta.
Maybe you could talk about your coping method, like the way you cope with it.
I can't.
Like Nug does it silly. Like Nug, you know he gets mad, right? But Nug is so silly that you never think he gets mad because he's so silly. Like he's just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that just makes you feel better because you're like, well, you know what? Like if he could be silly, I could be silly, and everything's okay. With you, it's almost like you're a Buddha. Like you're like some kind of dude that's sitting on top of a temple somewhere, just chilling. And it's like, I don't got a temple, and I ain't Buddha, and I ain't just chilling. Do you know what I mean?
I'm definitely not a Buddha. I ain't that. I'm not that. I don't follow.
Like
I don't practice those. I don't practice those methods. But I mean, I get mad. We all get mad. We're human beings. But at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna let. I'm not gonna let DoorDash. I'm not gonna get that mad about DoorDash because it's DoorDash. It's an app.
But see, that's the thing. Listen, it's not DoorDash, right? Like I worked construction my whole life. Like for real. Like you said, you were in the restaurant, and like in different economies. I worked construction my whole life. And when I tell you I busted my ass. I used to dig holes by hand because of fiber optic cables, and you had to make sure you didn't cut through them. Because if you cut through them, that'd be a couple $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like I worked hard. Like I worked hard to the point where like I was in charge of a bunch of people. But if you would have ever saw me on the side of the road, you'd be like, you would never think I was in charge of nothing. And like I would go home to the point where my back and my body would hurt so bad that I would just think like sometimes I'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to run away into the woods, sit next to a lake, and take a nap. You know what I mean? Like you're just like I can't do it no more. Maybe a squirrel will come. Maybe like I'll be like some witch in the woods and she'll be like, here's the deal. I don't know. Like you just like you start fantasizing because it's so hard. Like it was so hard. Like for real. Like your body feels like it's breaking down. And this gig economy stuff is good. Because it's not really killing your body. It's not killing nothing. But you know what? If we let people that just take money from us and just don't treat us right, we're always going to let people do that.
Yeah, we will. And you got to make your own personal choices and do what you can do. At the end of the day, man, I ain't trying to be. I'm just trying to be a positive guy because life ain't that bad. So I appreciate you calling back. I'm gonna get to the next one. Thanks, man. Thank you. Maybe I am zen. Like I got the patience of an owl. You guys are fantastic. Listen, we're at 2 hours and 43. I think that's a good place to go our separate ways. Listen, I appreciate everybody that called in. I appreciate the super chats. Appreciate you guys ending your week with me. It's Sunday and beginning your week with me. So I want to challenge you guys with one thing before we go. For everybody watching out here still, if you're watching the replay, fantastic. So holiday season is coming up, right? There's a lot of things going on around us in the gig world. These apps every week is something new, right? I want to challenge you guys to make sure you got something in the back pocket to where if an app gets glitchy, it goes down, this happens, it's bought by another person and they change this, they change our base pay. Be ready for the unexpected, because you know the holidays are coming up. You got more expenses possibly coming, presents, gifts, other dinners. Maybe you got to travel somewhere. You got to buy a plane ticket. You got to drive somewhere, extra fuel costs. You got to get a hotel room. More expenses coming with the holiday season. So plan accordingly. Just want you guys to think about that, because before you know it, Christmas is coming, or whatever holiday you celebrate. Thanksgiving is coming. It's October, what is today? The 9th, the 10th? It's like the 10th, right? It's going to be here very soon. So be thinking about that while you're out there getting your money. And always remember, bet on you, set goals one day at a time. I'll see you guys next week.